You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Thank you for click and play. This is the IT and the D Show, episode 284. Guest this week, Spencer and Ryan from RePurpose. It is a very cool SaaS platform that is going to change the way you hire employees
who have no idea that we've brought them here simply to harvest their livers.
You need to listen to them. No, this will be a very, very awesome conversation. We're also going to replay an interview we did this weekend with Ming and Mike from AMC's Comic Book Men and the Ming and Mike podcast. We spent every week at their podcast studio. We spent more time with them than their families did over the last probably month this weekend, and we lived to tell the tale. And Dave, you may fire when ready.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Following program is intended for mature audiences.
It's I Love the 80s, and this is 1984.
This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now. And remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
Yeah, let's have a bachelor party with chicks and guns and fire trucks and hookers and drugs and food.
Yeah. All the things that make life worth living.
Where do you guys think you are? The Library of Congress? Detroit? Beyond the sun? Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit.
No, not Detroit. No, please. Anything but that. No.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come. Shut up.
1, 2, 3, come.
Hi, this is Christy Swanson, and you're listening to the IT in the D Show. And Bob and Dave touch my hoo-hoos.
What's your preference? Apple, pear, wang?
Oh, listen, I don't know anything about computers.
This is Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley, and the only two guys I hate more than Dinesh are Bob and Dave. Suck it, guys.
Number one, he hates bright lights. We know that. But you got to keep him out of the sunlight. Number two, keep him away from water. And probably the most important thing, don't ever feed him after midnight.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D Show. No mercy.
I find her interesting because she's a client and because she sleeps above her covers. 4 feet above her covers. She barks, she drools, she claws.
Hey everybody, this is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. You're listening to IT in the D. And if you want to get your money's worth, stay right here. And remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
From Detroit, this is IT and D Show. This is Tiny Lista Depot from the hit movie Friday. Keep your lights on, because I still got the bicycle. Now get that mic out my face.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT and the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds.
Nerds!
What is a nerd?
Hi, this is Ogre. You listen to a bunch of nerds on the IT and the D? Nerds.
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Hey, Detroit, this is Anthony Michael Hall. You're listening to my buddies Bob and Dave on IT in the D.
Hello, kiddies. It's your old pal, the Crypt Keeper. And you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Be careful what you ask for, kiddies. You may get it.
Come with me if you want to live.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump Pump. IT and the D Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
I'm a luck dragon. My name is Falcor.
This is Robert Hayes, the tit striker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Gumbo Bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Oh, no more Yankee, my wanky. The donga need food.
Hey folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guy, ho!
Already told you once, nobody screws with me.
Well, maybe you'll meet the right girl and all that'll change.
Hi, this is Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science.
So,
Bob and Dave,
What would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
After finally getting some sleep after one of the longest weekends of our life, we are back again to do it again. This is the one and only IT and the D Show, broadcasting live here out of Studio One in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy. That is Dave the Geek. Nuri the F&G is gone. I don't know where I forgot where I think he went to Canada. But we do have Randy. I do the Twitters in studio. Find us online, itandthed.com. Do us a favor. Give us a like on the socials and subscribe to us everywhere. You know what? Randy's in Nuri's seat. That's why it totally messed me up, because I looked over and I'm like, wait, you're not Nuri. You're in the wrong seat. Do us a favor. Give us a like on the socials and subscribe to us everywhere. Fine podcasts are sold.
Hey, so before we get rolling, this episode is sponsored by Lenovo for Business. IT and security, they go together like users and user error. I think we're all familiar with user error.
It's you.
But keeping your entire organization secure is no easy task. And with your never-ending to-do list comprised of security updates, systems management, and user assistance, anything that can make your job a little easier makes a difference. Lenovo is here to be a difference maker for you by making your security to-do list a little bit lighter thanks to a suite of innovative technology, services, and support solutions. Take, for example, security offerings like ThinkShield, which includes a range of customizable products, processes, and partnerships perfect for any business. So whether you're looking for something as simple as laptops with built-in camera shutters or something more complex, like a way to utilize virtualization to contain cyber attacks, Lenovo has you covered. Lenovo, putting the IT in security. To learn more about Lenovo for Business and see how they can make a difference for you, visit www.lenovo.com/SMB. That's www.lenovo.com/SMB.
Randy was trying to figure out where the IT fell in security. You could see the look on his face. And then he was going through the letters, then he figured it out. Then he gave me yeah. But yeah, if you didn't figure it out, Dave and I spent pretty much all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Astronomicon. On behalf of both of us, hats off to Mike, Dustin, Twisted, and everyone, all the volunteers and workers.
It's a great show.
Ross, and then everyone that put that thing on. And hats off to the staff at the Sterling Heights Wyndham Garden Inn. You are all saints, and your sainthood has been given, and you're all going to heaven, and you're going to get 4 puppies for putting up with one of the most diverse crowds, awesomely diverse crowds I've seen ever at a comic book show or a Comic Con.
And the fog bank of weed. Let's not forget the fog bank of weed.
That followed me into my car and smelt my entire car up on Saturday morning because of the jackets that it permeated into. I'm going to give it this, though. We said last year that it pretty much smelt like unwashed butt and pot jackets. And it just smelled like pot jackets this year. So hats off to the crowd for bathing. We sincerely appreciate you.
Maybe they're, I don't know, they're Astro wipes in a gift bag or something.
They give them dude wipes in the VIP packages.
Yeah. But no, so yeah, and it wasn't just the con. So as Bob mentioned, we've got an interview that we'll be playing a little bit later with Mike and Ming. They came into town Thursday. We met them here at the studios. Recorded some stuff with them that's out on we've got that out on YouTube. I haven't put it out through our channels yet. But that was a blast. That was a good time sitting around with them, BSing for a while, and then the bar crawl started.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you guys don't know Ming and Mike, they're from AMC's Comic Book Men. They've been part of Kevin Smith's entourage forever. We got to be good friends with them probably, 4 or 5 years ago. We'll keep in touch with them. They're kind of doing what we're doing with Podcast Detroit out in Jersey, with the shared universe podcast studio or podcast studio, however whichever way you want to say it. So we, share tips and tricks, and they love their dive bars. And talking about sainthood, Mr. Zapsik has earned his wings. The man
does not drink.
For those that then that's fine if you don't drink, but he hangs out till 3:00 with those that do.
Yeah,
make sure we're all good. kind of hangs out and drinks his tonic and lime and makes jokes. And he, I mean, usually with the years where I take a break and don't drink for 2-3 months, I'm usually done at around 11 going, I'm either fed up with you or I don't want to talk to these people anymore. Everybody's slurring and I'm calling them out on it. But no, he sat with us. We took him dive bar hopping to pretty much Hamtramck the whole weekend.
And we did, we did
Buddy's
two-way.
Pizza. Oh, but 2-way in Detroit, Buddy's Pizza, Whiskey in a Jar in Hamtown, Smalls in Hamtown. Polish Village Cafe downstairs. He stole a goblet, or Dave paid for a goblet.
There was no theft involved in the goblet. I asked and figured out a solution to the issue.
No, but those guys are awesome. They were a huge fanfare for them. It's funny, we go into these bars and there's fanboys that watch the show or big, watch, and then, so basically free drinks. Bottles were being passed around. Pretty much they had carte blanche everywhere we went. Smalls, it's a nightclub. It's just club lights and people recognize them and are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're here. Mike Ming's kind of, social. He's everywhere.
Ming's definitely the more outgoing of the two.
Oh yeah, but I mean, he stops in like everywhere and says hi and has this entourage of people
and puts it on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. I think he just did like 73 posts of everywhere he went.
If you ever want to know where Ming is, just look at Instagram or Facebook.
Right. Everywhere but home. As we were arguing about that earlier. But no, those guys are awesome. Thank you for, honestly, phenomenal weekend. You guys were great.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Absolutely.
Hey, let's see. So we have, what do we got coming up? We got next Thursday, the 21st. We have our IT and the D Metro Detroit social down at Detroit Shipping Company. I believe we're up in the Nino Brown room.
We are in the Nino Brown room.
Or as they call it, the Bridge Lounge. So you'll find us up on the second floor.
Who's Nino Brown?
New Jack City.
You are not allowed to speak again until you have seen New Jack City.
They own I don't know if they own the nightclub or if they just were like VIP guests, but there was like the room above the nightclub there with the glass windows that you can look down upon the people. Gotcha. So they have the Bridge Lounge, which is all glass, and the shipping containers that you can like look down.
I understand.
So the first thing I said out of my mouth is that room is the Nino Brown room. You need to rename it. And I think 2 people said, 14 people said, who's Nino Brown?
And then we have a weekend off from cons, but so we have our event next Thursday night, and then next Friday and Saturday we are at Great Lakes Comic-Con over at Macomb. Little bit slightly different crowd than the one we just had at Astronomicon.
Yeah, no, it's family. He's a teacher.
Much more family friendly.
Yeah, he's got his students as volunteers. He brings in light guests, not light meaning bad, light meaning not the juggalos.
Right. And then laughably on the 28th, we're going to be at the Detroit Policy Conference, downtown. We got that going on.
Which is nice.
We got that going for us. And then right around the corner after that, March 2nd is the next free podcast day, and 80s night down at the FC.
Awesome. Awesome. So interesting thing, like I didn't even know this existed, and I was flipping through YouTube instead of watching TV before the show, and I came across a thing for the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were talking about how the Learn to Code meme has exploded, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell's the Learn to Code meme?
Right.
So I started watching the podcast, and you remember, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, all the miners that got laid up. Maybe it was a couple years ago. And basically they said, hey, you're going to lose your profession in mining. It'd be great if you just learned to code.
Right.
Because there's a shortage. And it was kind of a cool thing, and we kind of liked it. But apparently it's become a passive aggressive way to troll laid off journalists of political affiliations that you may not agree with.
Well, it's become a method of attack stemming from one of, let's be real. I mean, this is yet again one of those things that has originated with 4chan.
Yeah, it came out at late that, I didn't know where it originated originally.
And so that's the thing. It's, literally anything can be weaponized. And I believe they called it a brigade attack, where if you're organizing a large number of people to basically go after a certain subset of people, you're kind of being a dick.
Well, what's happening is Twitter is banning people that are hashtagging Learn to Code as harassment. And it's
yes and no. So there have been several clarifications on this from Twitter themselves, where it said no. Like if you just go out and post something, learn to code, they're not banning you. They're not.
There was one he said it once, and he got banned. I mean, so it is happening.
Right. Well, but I mean, is he doing it because he's a part of these coordinated douchebags that are going after people? I mean,
or you're reading it and you may not have seen it on 4chan, but you think it's funny after you've seen it a couple times.
Yeah.
It's on Know Your Meme. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like it became a thing. And here was the thing. It's like Twitter needs to be, they can do whatever they want. They're a private business. They're a free service. But like you can, dox a 16-year-old kid or say people should kill him, and that's fine. But like here, you're saying learn to code, which I think you should, because coding's awesome.
And you should. And don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not a bad sentiment because, we all know the news industry is dying.
It's like eat healthy. Like you're an asshole. Like how did that become like you're trying to be nice? Hey, you lost your job. You know what? Learn to code.
Yeah.
Oh, you're mean. You're targeted harassing me. Like I get it. You're doing it in a kind of a douchey, passive aggressive way. But like, the fact that this has become, it's crazy to me how much 4chan has on because it becomes news articles now. And then you have Rogan talking about it. Now it's become like everyone knows about it now. It's a thing. And it started off like a couple neckbeards going, let's troll them and say, learn to code. And seriously, mind boggling how it keeps every week. There's something 4chan.
Something else.
Right.
Yeah.
They should just go back to finding where Shia LaBeouf is with his flag.
Exactly. That's what they were loved and approved of that.
Exactly. Now, jerks, how dare you prove your skill set to gain employment?
So one of the things we've talked about, you're just talking about YouTube. I found it interesting. Internet piracy is on the rise again. Because there are too damn many streaming services.
I know why. Yeah, exactly.
And they all have exclusive content. So,
do you do the math lately? So like,
I try to avoid math as much as possible.
I still have my cable,
right.
And now my kid wants Hulu, and the other one wants Spotify Family,
right.
And I bought YouTube because Cobra Kai.
Yeah, YouTube Red. Yeah,
we got Netflix, and I got the 4K because I got the good TV.
And then if you want HBO for Game of Thrones, or you want Stars for American Gods,
I already have all of the channels on the cables.
Well, that's good at least.
Right. But it's like, getting about $50, $70 is a month more than the cable, and then it's getting to be a little nutty.
Oh, and Star Trek Discovery is a CBS exclusive, so that's another $5.99 a month.
So you gotta download their app.
Yep.
Good thing I don't want to watch that anyway.
Yes, I mean,
so where's everybody going for torrenting?
Back to torrents, yeah.
I miss LimeWire.
You miss viruses?
Yeah. No, I never downloaded all the stuff you did. That was my favorite conversation I think I've ever had with you, where you were arguing about how much time it was taken to find clean versions of songs for your kids' dance. And I'm like, Dave, their songs are 99 cents on Amazon, right? And you can own it. And he's like, that's stupid. You're stupid. And I'm like, Dave, every time we go to the bar, you spend a minimum of $20 on the AMI jukebox on songs you don't own, but can blast publicly to other people. But owning a song, stupid. Not owning a song and have it playing over speaker, smart. Like that's, and then you said,
we've had this conversation.
You got caught. You couldn't own yourself out of that one.
No, the music industry lied to me. They lied to me when the CD came out because they told me, and this was 95? They told me that music was going to get cheaper. That it was going to be, it was going to be forever, and it was going to be great, and albums were going to be cheaper and all of their stuff. And it's never is, because they keep spending $5 billion a year trying to convince me that I need to listen to whoever the blank just won the Emmys or Grammys.
I should be the bitter one. Because I'm the idiot that DJ'd weddings in 95 and 96 and had to go to Harmony House so I could get that one song that one lady wanted for $18.99 piece of crap CD that I threw out the window on the ride home. And I did it on multiple occasions. And so when free music came out, I was the first one to say, middle fingers up, LimeWire all day. But now there's too many, they got smart and they flooded it with crap versions of it.
Yeah.
Or they put like stamps on it. So I'm like, I just want a clean version. I don't feel like digging.
Right.
Amazon, I'm going to pay $1.
Good.
Yeah.
Right.
Good for you.
Nice. Easy now.
Yeah. Fair.
Problem solved.
The best thing I've seen all week, our old pal, the voice of reason, Jeff Mackey, found it. If you go to Marvel, I believe it's marvel.com/Captain Marvel. I think that's the exact URL if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
They redid a 1990s version because the movie's set in the 90s. So they gave like a really like a GeoCities, however you pronounced it, version of.
Yeah, very 1995-ish.
Yeah, Captain Marvel website. You need to go see it if you're going to do anything.
Amazing.
Well, I don't know why more movies don't have fun with this. Like, Galaxy Quest did a great job with theirs. Like, for all I know, it's probably even still live. It was like galaxyquest.com/gquest or /fansite or something like that. And it was a horrible old, tripod/GeoCities/whatever, page. And it was great. And it was one of those things like little Easter eggs that you find and off you but yeah. So
it brought you back to a time.
Right.
Before time.
Before LimeWire.
Before the dark times.
Right. Before the Empire.
This Captain Marvel site is amazing. It's got animated GIFs and bouncing text, and it's got a spinning @ for emails, and it's got the decorative borders, all sorts of weird.
Does it have the under construction guy with the pickaxe?
No, it looks like the site's finalized. So
you know what it reminded me of?
Anymore.
There was the I think the 8 My Balls series where it was like a Lycos it was like Ric Flair 8 My Balls.
And
there was a bunch of them, but it looked like that. We're just like
nice.
Yeah. Did you see? There's a little bit of backlash coming out on a couple things. One is what Lyft. We've been talking a lot for what Uber drivers make. What Lyft drivers make. And the thing is now you're a Lyft driver, you're an Uber driver, you're DoorDash, you're Grubhub, you're Uber Eats, right? You can basically deliver fries, you can drive people. So they're making it more accessible to make more money.
Right.
But there's a couple articles that came out. One was CNBC, and it was basically I spent a day with a full-time Uber, Lyft, Juno driver in New York City and did a 9-hour shift and wanted to see how much he would make. Basically, figure 9-hour shift sitting in a car, that's kind of hellish. Like, figuring in New York City, especially, like, where do you stop to pee? You got to pay to park to pee, like, and eat. And, what are you going to do?
I'm sure it's not enjoyable.
No, at about a normal day, he basically said he's going to bring home about $250. Mm-hmm. So they did
from Uber and Lyft. Now, what I thought was interesting, there was other stuff in there that I didn't know about. Like, so there's Cargo, which is the service that puts snacks, water bottles, that kind of stuff in the car for them to sell. And then there was Play Octopus, which is basically putting a tablet in the car with games on it and that kind of stuff that people can like rent time on and play. And
Okay. So, between all of that, he said he earns about $72,000 a year, basically working 6 days a week, like 9 hours a day.
Well, yes. No, $72,000 was just
gross.
Uber and Lyft. Yeah, that's just Uber and Lyft. The other stuff was like another 15 or 20, if I recall correctly.
Right, but that's gross zero expenses. When basically what they added up, it's pretty much between gas, maintenance, the whole nine, insurance.
Was another $20,000.
It's about $20,000.
Yeah, in expenses.
But like, did you know, like, Wookie Will that works for us, or with us? I don't say looks. He became a Lyft driver, and he doesn't have a car that was acceptable, so they leased him a car. So basically, he's got he pays them $800 a month to have a car that is Lyft worthy. That basically, and he doesn't have to pay the maintenance on, and then he basically earns money off that driving for Lyft, but buys their car. Like, I didn't know they were in that business.
No, I know we had talked about that before, and I wish I would have known that because I'd like to talk to him more about it. Because damn, that's pretty steep, isn't it?
That's what I thought, but he didn't have any other options, and he needed a job, and that was
Is it just for the car, or does that include insurance as well?
Insurance and maintenance, I believe in. Yeah, it's kind of like rental, like a.
Okay.
Enterprise rent-a-car type of thing, yeah.
For the car he has, yeah.
I believe he just has to pay for gas.
Okay.
I can tell you that's how I paid for my wife's engagement ring. Was through Uber.
Oh, I was going to say you $800 a month.
No. No, it was before my current gig right now, but like just as a side hustle. Yeah. Would be you do the prime hours of like 9 to 2, 9 to 3 a.m.
Right.
And then every once in a while, you do like a morning commute time, right? So you're up at 5 and you're done by like 7:38.
Right.
And yeah, I was able to pay for a really nice engagement ring That
Nice.
was a cool little side hustle through Uber.
She said yes.
She definitely said
Oh,
yes.
just
We're still
checking.
married.
Just checking. Good. But the other article that came out, and this is what pisses me off when I'm using DoorDash and like Instacart and stuff, is the pre-tip. Do you pre-tip? Like they said, like if DoorDash and you're like, the tip's already like calculated before they dropped off your stuff.
I typically try to make sure I have cash on hand to do a tip that way.
Yeah, right. But cause for some reason I feel like if I tip 20%, the guy will be there quicker. Or like won't drop my pizza and then pick it up off the floor and give it to me, right? So I'm like, but here's the problem: is an article came out with
what if you pre-tip and then they drop your pizza anyway?
Yeah, a guy dropped my Buddies and it was like sideways and it still tasted like Buddies, and I'm not a presentation first person. Like as long as it didn't get dropped on the floor, I'm like, did you stack this vertical? Like, how did you get this here? It's a pizza. But what they're doing is basically they're saying, here's your earnings estimate, and you're going to get paid $15 to $20 an hour or whatever, but they're already including tips.
Yeah.
So you're thinking you're going to make that as an hourly wage, and they're publicizing that you're going to make this money, but they're estimating that I'm going to tip enough to substantiate that wage.
Well, but I mean, how different is that than, any of the car companies publishing a car payment that literally like 0.00001% of the population can actually get.
Right.
Yeah. That needs to go away.
Well, yeah, that exactly. But they talked about here, DoorDash took in almost $1 billion last year, and they don't make food. They don't make any food, and they don't cook any food, and they don't own any buildings that make food.
They're a pimp. Like Uber. They put consenting adults together. They take a little cut off the top, and then whatever happens after that is up to them.
Well, I talked to the guy that opened up Larco Brothers Pizza by my house, and I said, hey, sometimes I'm lazy. Do you do DoorDash? And he goes, are you nuts? And I go, whoa, why? So they take 20% off the top, right? And then they mark up your food, and then they add your delivery fee, and then you taxes, right? And he goes, do you know how the restaurant business works? Like he ran Larco's, like Italian eater, that. He goes, if I give him 20%, that's pretty much my food cost. Like restaurant margins are slim.
Right.
And he goes, I don't know how these guys are doing it. Like just giving away, get it off the top. Like you're going to eat, if Wendy's is on there. You're going to eat Wendy's anyway. You're just being lazy, right? Yeah. And they got to give up 20% because you're lazy. I'm like, I don't know.
Maybe they're hoping to either A, make it up on volume.
I was going to say they're losing money on every sale, but they're making it up in volume.
Or B, they're going for brand loyalty. Hey, that's the food I want. Let's make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody, I mean, if you look at DoorDash outdoes Grubhub now in terms of people that are on it. Uber Eats, I think, is even better. So, I mean, yeah, it's nuts,
friggin' bizarre.
I turned a coworker on to DoorDash. She's like, man, I wish you'd never do it. I put on like 10 pounds. I keep eating. I'm like, they keep bringing it to me. I keep eating. I go, that's what they do. It's delivery of food.
So, hey, some of our favorite people in the world, anti-vaxxers, in case you missed the memo, there's a potential rubella outbreak happening because of somebody that came to the Detroit Auto Show. Yeah.
I will give them the measles.
That's somebody from New York.
No, I thought it was Germany.
Was it Germany?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was somebody.
That's what the article said.
Oh, well then, okay,
you didn't
Germany.
Read it. Oh, I said, the Germans aren't making the vaccine, so we're going to give them to the fat Americans.
Nice.
So
now Germany has literally just biologically attacked us.
Yeah, I don't know, measles. I don't know if that's. But if you it's going around. Not just from the crowds that brought it here, but in general, like there's being measles outbreaks like rampant for like all over the place.
Yeah. No, which
if you don't vaccinate your kids, isn't that just abortion with more steps?
Yeah.
Randy.
No, see, I mean, seriously, I don't get it. I don't at all because, I mean.
Oh, rubella is the German measles. That's why.
Yeah.
It's not
it's
from
measles, mumps,
it's
rubella.
Not from the Germany. It originally came from the Germany, but it wasn't from a German person.
Well, no, but that's why they call it the MMR. It's the MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, rubella,
like DDR.
Like, welcome to the DDR. Yeah, no, that's why. Yes, that's why. It's MMR,
East German measles.
Yes.
Oh.
But so I, for the love of God, like if you were at the auto show, and I forget there was like a 3-day date range that the person was here, but realistically, if you went to the auto show and you start not feeling good and you start seeing little dots breaking out, Get your ass to a doctor's office, please, for the love of God.
Now, is it airborne? I don't know how measles is contracted. Is it? Were they like taking their shirt off and like rubbing themselves on all the interiors
They could have been
of the cars?
licking doorknobs. I don't know what they were doing.
It's Kobo, so I've seen it all.
It's entirely, yeah, exactly. It's Kobo. God only knows. Got an interesting note from Nest this week where I guess people were complaining that their Nest accounts had been hacked. And Nest basically proactively sent out an email that said, okay, let's be clear. No, Nest has not been compromised in any way, shape, or form. But hey, idiots, in case you're not familiar with this, lots of other websites on the planet have been hacked. And if you were dumb enough to use the same user ID and password here that you are using on one of those websites that got hacked, then yes, someone will have your credentials for this site because it's the same. Here's the link to Have I Been Pwned. Please go look it up and change your passwords and yada, yada, yada.
See, what I'm telling you is you have idiots like me that know IT that doesn't feel like changing their password. But then you have people like my father that found out that the Ring and the Nest integrates with his little Google Home little video thing that he's in love with. And now he wants that. So you think he's going to change that password?
No, so you have to do it for him.
Right. If I don't do it and I'm his IT guy, imagine that world where I am his IT guy.
That poor bastard.
Yeah, exactly. He loves that Google Home, man. Plays the polkas, and they play his little polkas, and he goes like he can't believe it. He used to have to filter through 8 tracks and records for like years to find these songs. Now he's like, play the symphony from the guy from the, and they play it. And he's shocked, like he doesn't have that thick of an accent. I'm pushing it if he's listening.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not.
Yes.
But there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is, I don't know if that was good news or not, that we were going to get the first, we talked about this in, the
first Westworld sex brothel.
Yeah, we're going to get a sex doll brothel in Southfield, which I don't get why it would go there. But thankfully, they voted unanimously to not have it. But I was going to call first, but now I don't have to. I just wanted to see the Craigslist ads for the janitorial services that were going to be offered there. To see
the jobs the job listings
must be phenomenal with a scrub. Speaking of that, man, the bathrooms at Astronomicon look like that place would look like at midnight. Like why
are the buddy urinals still there?
Oh my God, that's the funniest thing. So Spence, they have, how you have like a urinal and there's a dividing wall and there's another urinal, there's a dividing wall. We call them the buddy urinals, where there's 3 urinals that are divided. Then there's 2 that don't have the dividing wall.
And then there's 3 more that are divided.
High-five each other as you're going.
And then there are 3 more that are divided.
Right.
So it's like, so it's just a random pair of urinals.
It's the love seat.
No,
it totally is.
It's the love seat.
That was last year when Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, was in the bathroom with me and Eric Gutierrez, one of the artists, and we decided to pee in the buddy urinals, with each other. And Scott Hall, who's, unmistakably voice, he says, "Hey-o." He's like, "You two are going to have a dark match." And he clicks the lights off in the John. We had to fumble for our phones for the flashlight, peeing on our feet. But yeah, I didn't have, I texted Eric after he left and I go, "I'm really sad we didn't get to pee in the buddy urinals."
Yeah, because a year later, Still no divider between those 2 urinals.
For the love of God. Speaking of buddy urinals, we're going to be back after a quick break with Spencer and Ryan from RePurpose. This is the IT and the D Show.
Hey, we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Schneider from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Life of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITinthed.com.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. Segment 2, episode 284 of the IT in the D Show, broadcasting live here in Studio 1 in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. Bob, the sales guy. Dave, the geek. Randy, I do the Twitters. In Nuri's seat. Find us online, itinthed.com, because we are IT in the D.
And you still are not.
And you don't have the guys from RePurpose in your studio now, do you?
They would have
no. But hey, this segment is brought to you by our really, really good friends at Eero. The Eero home Wi-Fi system brings you a fast, reliable connection in every room of the house because life's too short for bad Wi-Fi.
Agreed.
Now, we all got stuck with repeaters and buying those $20 plugins in the kitchen, and people don't realize it chews heavier bandwidth. It's spotty, and it plain out sucks. And you know what doesn't suck? The second generation Eero and Eero Beacon allow you to build a Wi-Fi system that's more perfectly tailored to the home than ever before. Then when you add Eero Plus, which we just did, you get total network protection with the ability to block malicious and unwanted content across your entire network. Not only that, when the kids hit it, and you can do filters and block stuff. And yeah, exactly. No, but it's good. Like especially when you have 5-year-olds, like, looking up, like, you know, the internet's scary, man, you know, and they're looking up stuff and
they could even be completely innocuous. I mean, you know how the internet, you can be innocuously searching for something and, oh, look, it's porn.
Yep. And you can tag violent, illegal, or adult content. Yep. So you can choose what your kids can't visit right from the app, and you can get rid of annoying ads and pop-ups on all of your devices. It improves load times for ad-heavy sites. So you can browse and stream faster than ever before. Not only that, there's no lag. I have 2 gamer kids and a 5-year-old that's on her tablet all day. I'm on YouTube and streaming Netflix all day, and pretty much no one has complained about lag since we put these in. I swear to God.
And I'd still say one of the best features on this thing is guest network access. You don't have to worry about like
Spencer coming over and getting, you know, your Wi-Fi password.
Right. Yeah. It's just, hey, you get your phone number. Boom. There's a text message. Follow that link. You're in.
And it goes away in 24 hours. Yeah, definitely. I've used that at a couple parties.
Yep.
Like, do I want to get? No, you're getting the guest password.
Yeah.
But hey, do us a favor to get $100 off the Eero base unit and 2 beacons and a year of Eero Plus. Go to Eero.com. That's EERO.com/IT in the D and enter code IT in the D, one word at checkout. Not one word, is just IT in the D.
Yes.
At checkout. That's Eero.com, EERO.com/IT in the D. IT in the D at checkout, and we love you guys.
Yeah, seriously, thanks for the support. Love the product.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of a product that we love, no, I'm just kidding, because we haven't used it yet, but we plan to hopefully in the future. We have Ryan Landau, Spencer here, from RePurpose.co. I had to throw that out there because how much we love .co's, but I'm just kidding. How you guys doing? Appreciate hanging out with us.
Love being here, and .co's are pretty impressive these days, so they're pretty great.
Like, we're a startup, man. You don't get it. Like, is that...
Well, I'll tell you, about maybe 2 years ago when it was about $9.99 on GoDaddy, it was like .co, definitely the way to go.
Weren't they $2.99?
Yeah, they might have jacked
we got
it up
the coupon codes.
Bit,
yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like all the people that, you know, when they just text you K instead of OK.
How much time do you save?
What are you doing with all that free time you save? So it's the .co. It's all the time you're saving by not typing the M.
That should be your tagline. Repurpose.co. Screw the M. Like, screw the M. But so, I mean, you guys have this is the reason why you're here is you guys have a really cool story. Dave and I have been involved in kind of not the recruiting industry, but supporting the recruiting industry by doing our Pinksa parties, our job fairs, our meetups. I've always kind of been around giving back and helping and enhancing IT talent in Detroit. You guys kind of flipped the switch and have done something completely unique. And Ryan, you founded it, so I want you to tell the story on kind of why and what the heck you guys are doing.
Yeah, when first of all, when you think about recruiting or like finding a job, it all kind of sucks. And so yeah, it's pretty terrible and non-human. And so I'm trying to think. This was maybe about 8 years ago. Moved back to Detroit and wanted to be a part of the tech scene here, and so was trying to figure it out. Built the company. It was called Chalkfly. It was in the office and school supply space. We were thinking about, okay, how do we sell office and school supplies and make them sexy, because traditionally a pretty like unsexy market.
See, I'm jealous. I've been wanting to start a company for 12 years or 13 years called Poop, pre-owned office products. And it just
you would have crushed it.
It never flew. Yeah, it never flew.
Yeah.
Do you have the domain?
No, if I owned poop.com, I wouldn't be here right now, man. I'd be living in an island somewhere, man. They're worth millions. But no, I remember Chalkfly.
Yeah. So, making office supplies sexy is the thing to do. So, built that and sold that maybe about a couple years ago, and kind of throughout our experience and thinking about either trying to find a job or trying to like hire people, it always sucked. You could go on like Monster, Indeed, which are these big job boards, which are completely overwhelming. Or you could use a headhunter, which is like super expensive. So for us, we really wanted to build a community. So what RePurpose is we're a two-sided marketplace. One side of the platform is specifically for technology companies and startup companies, and then the other side is specifically people that are looking for a job in the IT space. So if you're a software engineer, you're a marketing person, you're a project manager, and you're looking for a job, come to RePurpose, and we're kind of like the eHarmony, I would say, for recruiting.
But I mean, yeah, I think you're selling. I'm not saying you're selling it short, but there's secret sauce that it completely differentiates you from everyone.
Yeah, so lots of I love secret sauce. That's part one.
Just ketchup and mayonnaise.
Yeah, ketchup and mayonnaise, little drizzle on there. No, but it's extremely curated, and so like, what the hell does even curated mean? So we don't allow every single company that applies to us get onto the platform. So it's about 50% of the companies that apply to us we allow. Really looking for awesome companies that are doing cool things and have an awesome culture. And then on the flip side, on the company side, on the candidate side, people apply to our platform. We do all the vetting. And we accept somewhere around 8 to 10% of the candidates that apply to us on a given month. So, again, we're trying to look for quality, not quantity here, and really trying to match people based on, we call them the easy things, which is compensation, location, skill set, but really trying to match people based on culture fit. Everyone talks about culture fit at a high level, but like, what does that actually mean?
But again, there's more secret sauce. And wait, there's more. It sounds like an infomercial. Yeah. But but buying, you guys kind of built an all-you-can-eat model. This isn't like, recruiting. If you, I don't want to deal with a headhunter because I got to pay 40% of their first year salary. You guys kind of built this almost like a SaaS all-you-can-eat model.
Yeah. So something that's I find really passionate that I'm super into about RePurpose is that we remove the transactional nature of the recruiting game. So there's no direct hire fees. There's no, contracting or anything like that. It's that software or SaaS model where it's an all you can eat. You get all access. You can hire as many people. You can engage with us. We've got dedicated team members that are basically an extension of you. So instead of looking at us as a vendor where we're trying to cash grab from you, we can actually be an extension of your team. So we're working with recruiters, HR managers, but also engineering teams and all the way up to executive levels, depending on the situation. And the method to kind of our madness is really being an advocate for both companies and candidates in one fell swoop.
I'm not going to lie. It's like when I originally introduced you guys, I'm like, you guys are doing something that no one's doing.
Right.
Is there a reason why no one's doing it like this? Or did you guys just foresee this as being kind of this is the future of recruiting and job placement?
Yeah, good question. I think when you think about the recruiting industry, people are always debating okay, with AI and machine learning and people throw these words around and it's let's automate the whole recruiting process. I think I recently saw a Wall Street Journal article and it was talking about, all right, the new recruiting is you leave a voicemail for a recruiter, and that's it. And that's your interview. And from our perspective, we think recruiting should be a two-way conversation between the candidate and a company instead of just leaving a message for someone.
Well, the problem with we always saw with recruiting is here you had a 22-year-old, maybe worked at, a bar or at Best Buy or something. All of a sudden now you thrust them into corporate America, where there's jargon and there's, people cynical IT know-it-alls like Dave that, that are programmers in 3,700 different languages, right? Do you know bocce, right? And here you have this, this innocent little, person that doesn't know, and then they get eaten alive. And it kind of built a bad name for recruiters. Or you have the overzealous ones that would call and bother you. They, for all the good recruiters out there, there's a few of them that just really put a bad name out there for everybody.
Yeah, 100%. And like Spencer was mentioning, I think it's all on the economic side. The incentives are aligned in a weird way, as in it's all right, recruiter will get you a job, and then they get paid 20% of your first year salary. For us, it's just a subscription base. So whether you get a job or don't get a job, we're here to help you. But then, you know what? I also want to mention, there's some really good recruiters out there, but it's exactly what you said. It's those few that are a little, maybe too pushy.
Well, I'm a salesperson, right? I get lumped in from everywhere from insurance to MLM to used cars to, and everywhere in between, right? So I'm in sales, oh boy. No, I'm in sales. I don't know how else to describe it.
Right.
But it's the same thing that you guys are going after. So, how do you, you probably don't want to answer this. I always ask this one a question. How do you not make the list? Like, what's the criteria? Like, when you said, you're only accepting 8 to 10 applicants, like, what do you have to do to not make it? Not to be specific or anything, but.
So, I mean, part of that is the general, like, kind of what we look for in candidates.
Yeah.
And, there's some easy, ways to just get yourself kind of checked off the list is, we're looking for candidates who want to be in Michigan. So right now we're working with startups all the way across Michigan. And so one of the requirements is they want people on-prem, whether they're, flex time and they're working a little bit remotely, that's fine.
Sure.
But the general trend is they want them in-house at some point. So if somebody's living in New York, San Francisco or something like that and doesn't want to move back or, they want to stay where they are, that's somebody we clearly can't help right off the bat.
So you're not saying that like you need to volunteer and like that does not
right. You need to spend your days cleaning the streets for a little bit before you get access. No. I mean it's a lot of basic stuff. From your technical skill set to do you even want to work in a small environment? I think one of the biggest things we've seen from a trend perspective with GM, unfortunately, with all these layoffs, is not everybody from GM wants to be in a small business.
Nope.
Or they want to work where, there's autonomy and you don't know what you're going to be doing tomorrow.
Well, I went from Cisco, getting laid off at Cisco, to going to a startup where our sales kickoff was, 60 people. And I was used to being in the MGM stadium with Hillary Clinton speaking.
Air cannons just.
Yeah, exactly. Just like this $100 million productions. Right. And I'm like, small company. But, it's all culture. Again, it was what you're used to or what you want to be involved in.
Well, no, I mean, like you were saying, I mean, there are people that truly only do well as a cog in a big machine.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I learned over the course of my career is I do better in smaller companies, where you can actually, from my perspective, make a difference, affect change, and actually do shit, as opposed to, the GMs of the world. And I've done what I lovingly refer to as tours of duty through all 3 of the big 3. And it is. I mean, it's, do you want to be on a speedboat or do you want to be on a
ferry?
Ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the game that we see is just like expectation setting in communications. And when you think about recruiting, instead of just thinking of it as this like department that's completely by itself, it's like, how do you think of recruiting as it's like a product? So thinking about your employer brand, thinking about how you're marketing yourself, thinking about how you're communicating, thinking about, all the touch points through like an interview, thinking about sending an offer letter, then to onboarding, then to mentorship and someone throughout their career at a company. Recruiting, instead of just being kind of not even at the table, now you just see it. People are here, kind of at the C-suite from, an HR perspective, but thinking about, I would say, shaping your mind a little bit different instead of thinking about recruiting as just recruiting.
Right.
It's like a product as it is.
Interesting. All right. So something that was top of mind for me too, this word gets bounced around a lot. You used it a couple times and so did I, is culture. And I think it's one of the loosest terms out there right now because everyone talks about it and everybody says they need it and everybody says they want it. And I don't get it. I'll be honest. I still don't get it. I've been at smaller companies that said they had culture and they really didn't, just because they put awards every month for like, you did awesome and you helped Susie. And then you have other companies that, try to say like, we're one unit, we're one company. And, and in all this time, I don't get what it is. Do you have a better terminology for it than me?
And then I'm going to lay one more thing on top of that.
Right.
How about what a company like markets it is and says, hey, we are this great, amazing company, but they're just doing that to like attract people.
Right.
And that's not actually what's behind the other side of
we
the door.
have a bowl of granola bars in the break room. Like, I mean, that's what some people I think call great culture. They got free Slurpees, man. Like, wait, what? Like, I guess what,
keep in mind, I mean, every company is going to have a culture. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Like, like yogurt?
Yes, with strawberries. No, but I mean, like every company's got every company has a company culture. And every person is looking for it. We've talked about it a million times. The whole dating corollary thing. I hook you up with a girl who loves country music and likes to put her bare feet on dashboards.
Ooh.
Ain't gonna work for you. That's not your culture.
Well, it doesn't. That means that's one of the people there have their bare feet. That doesn't mean I'm not going to work there. But I know what you're saying. I'm just no. There's
so one of the coolest examples that I can think of from a culture perspective, we've got a client. They're problem solvers, right? And they like to have their people, whether it's engineering all the way up to project managers and even the C-suite, always thinking of ways to improve. And so one of their exercises that they do outside of, the TDD or paired programming that they're doing is, at the lunch table or just kind of general seating, they'll put out, whether it's a Lego or giant puzzle or something like that, where you can actually just interact with different people on the team, and just put something together, but it's mindless, but you're still thinking of how to improve or how to make the process better.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so I think it's more of an idea of what are the examples of culture versus some fictitious, tangible, hey, we're a cool, awesome company. But being able to descriptively describe what it is day in and day out, of what it's like to work there. I think that's going to kind of be the setting or the tone of what it really feels like in the culture there.
I almost think it's reverse, and I'll give you an example. One of my favorite stories, and it drives me nuts, I can't think of the CEO's name, that would interview people at breakfast, and he would purposely come in and say what he's doing and make sure that the waitress or waiter brings the food out wrong twice to see how the person interacts.
I love it.
Do they get shitty? Do they say, are they apologetic, or do they just eat it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, I always say you got to vacation with someone first before you marry them. And it's kind of the same thing. You get, it's all out on the table.
Right.
So one of the things they do at Zappos during training, or actually, during while you're interviewing someone, is they send you on a scavenger hunt throughout the city. And you always, as the participant, you're thinking like, all right, how fast am I going to finish this, and what's going to go on, and like how are they going to score me on my specific scavenger hunt? It actually has nothing to do with the scavenger hunt. Zappos goes to all the different coffee shops and restaurants and says, how did this person interact with you? How did they treat you? Were they a good communicator? And it has nothing to do with the game. It has all about how they have to, treat people in the community. And it's exactly what you were talking about.
Well, I was interesting enough. I was telling a story about an interview process I went on with. It was a major book retailer that turned into a cloud provider that I won't name. But like I got to the final interview for a pretty prominent job, and the the hiring manager acted disinterested and kind of distant and almost like I had to reel him in. Then I brought the story up, and it said on a technical side saying, "Yep, I went through the same thing." And I go, "Come on!" Like you could hear the clicking, like they acted like, "Wait, what? Could you repeat that?" And a couple times, like just acted like they were not there. Right. And it was like, I go, "Was that like supposed to be cue for me to like command the conversation?" Like I was really taken back by it. Like I go, "Was that part of their culture?" Like almost like I ordered breakfast wrong to see how I would act.
Yeah, I think it's more them trying to peel the layers on you, right? As the interviewer, everybody knows anytime that you're interviewing, you're going to put your best face forward, right? Your references are going to be top notch. They're going to be people giving you 5 stars, all that jazz. So the goal of that is to kind of peel it away, not to kind of see your inner demons, but just know who Bob is as a regular or who Randy is as a regular.
And that was the thing. Well, another time, it's funny. The one I don't get stumped very often. The one time I did is like the guy sit down with the COO after 3 rounds in like the same day, and he goes, "I know why you're great. Tell me why you suck." And I'm like,
it's a good question.
Well, no, for a sales guy, the joke is I don't like expense reports and Salesforce admin on Friday. But he's like, if your best friend was sitting right next to you, what would be the 3 things he'd say why he hates you? And the first thing on my mouth, he's going to call me fat, drunk, and stupid, but I can't tell this guy that. So I'm like, what's up? And I look back in retrospect, and I probably should have answered that. You know what I mean?
Loved it.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you give him? Did you give him like the positive, negative, like, oh, I care too much?
No. I never do that. Like, I'm too nice to him. No. I said I'm a bad influence or something, and I always make him go. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what I said.
You make him do what?
Go out drinking with me too much. But like the whole fat, drunk, stupid thing, I was like completely, like, all I was thinking about. I'm like, God, I can't say that. No. But yeah, it's funny. Like, but that's the thing where I think it's not really the company culture. It's trying to get the people that you like.
It's the one-on-one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what you're going to do when you're there.
Yeah. It's the fit. Look, I mean, you spend time with these people more than your family. So, like, at the end of the day, like, you can be interviewing for someone. Can they do the job? Like, yes, that is important, but, like, who they are as a person is, like, way more of the game because, I mean, literally, you're spending more time with them than anyone else.
Well, I've had it's always been bad in my world because I'm a, enterprise sales guy. We're all high dollar guys. And or gals too. But we're all type A's. We're all arrogant. We're all mine. We're all ego driven, and we're all just complete recluse maniacs. And getting 9 of them in a room, it's hard. Like I don't know how some of these companies put up with us. You know what I mean? It's you know, I don't know if there's a way around it either, because they always keep hiring the same people. We always recycle. If you look at our resumes, it's 3 years here, 4 years here, 3 years here, 4 years here.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I also think when you're working at such like a small company compared to like a large company, you know, that culture can be so toxic so fast. And so I think when you're hiring, it's thinking about from like a culture fit perspective, like, how do we not get like every single person that looks exactly the same?
Right.
Like, how do we be bringing to the people
like American Psycho?
Like American Psycho.
I mean, yeah, everyone.
Stole the words out of my mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, no,
that's kind of awesome.
That was perfect. That felt good. Yeah.
Bone lettering, raised font. So I mean, let's take two. You got 2 customers. You got your employers. You got your employees. If I'm a employee, or if I want to be part of this, what do I do, or what? If I guess what's
how
the
you find us?
No, not how you find you. I know how to find you. RePurpose.co. Screw the M.
Screw them.
But I mean, like, you know, what's the fit? If like say, hey, you know what? That's kind of me. I should be a part of this as a candidate. What's
So I think from the candidate side, one of the interesting things that we've seen, and you guys have probably seen this over, you know, IT and the D, is about 30% of our candidates are actually not even from Michigan. So they're from San Francisco, they're from New York, Chicago, like wanting to move home. And so we see about 70%, you know, obviously like here in Michigan, that's where the biggest population is. So, right, if you're a job seeker looking to get involved with the tech community in Detroit, we would love to help you, but it's not just like, hey, let's help you and find you a job. It's, hey, let's get involved with the happy hours that we're doing, with the newsletter. I think there's like an amazing community that's happening here in Detroit. And if you can land at a company with us or with someone else, you look at, if you're coming back, we all win together.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, if you can't burn the bridge now, because like I said, we're all coming around. 3 to 4 years, you're going to get it's kind of like leasing a car. That's what I look at. One of the top Cisco executives grabbed me at a happy hour at Vegas. He said, every 3 to 4 years, you either move up or you move out. And, luckily Cisco moved me out, and that wasn't my call, but now if I'm an employer, and let's say I got couple hundred coders I need to hire, or 2 coders.
Yep.
And I'm sick of recruiters because frankly, or sick of working with 16 recruiters, or some of them are a couple good, but why do I want to work with you?
First things first is, as an employer, you get direct access. So like what Ryan said earlier, we literally have built a 2-way marketplace. So the Tinder for recruiting.
Yeah.
It's very swipe right, swipe left, sort of, double opt-in is kind of what we go for.
Right.
So you get direct access to all of the candidates who are currently in our active pool, who've been vetted by us, who have gone through a little bit of the ringer, and getting direct access to all of that information right up front. So
but you're paying a flat fee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally
it's that.
So I better go to the gym every month, otherwise I'm losing money, right?
Right. But the nice part is we're working with you, right? So as opposed to Planet Fitness that just like lets it go,
right.
We're actually calling you and engaging with you to say, hey, we haven't talked to you, or how'd those conversations go? So you're definitely getting the white glove approach that a normal recruiting firm would give you. But you're getting other things as well, which makes it just a cool appeal to that startup world.
So it's not really it is more of it's not necessarily just a SaaS model. It's the white.
It's both. Right.
Yeah, because SaaS model, you're just going to leave them alone to clickety click, right? You're holding their hand.
We want you to engage with that because we want to have that conversation. We want to be that partner that you look towards, or that expertise in the field per se sort of idea. And a lot of that is just from our community driven focus. Helping is the new selling, right? That's just the way we like to kind of go about our business, is saying, how can we help you get to where you need to go? Do you just need advice? Do you need a connection? Do you need a job? How can we help you?
Sure. Cool. So repurpose.co. You guys are downtown?
Yeah. Campus Marshes. We're in the WeWork spot.
Okay.
1001.
Right on. Good eating around there these days.
A lot of good eating. What's your favorite place to eat downtown?
Lafayette.
Lafayette's pretty good.
Bucharest is number 2.
What are you getting in Lafayette?
2 conies, cheese fried, coffee.
Ooh, coffee.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what time of the day.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's like 3 a.m, you're still drinking coffee?
Yeah.
Coffee. That sounds good.
My buddy's donut coffee, like he loves their donuts. I have no idea where they get them from. We just went to Dooley's down on Verner.
Duluth is
Southwest.
great.
I like the atmosphere there. It's Lafayette though, all day.
Yeah.
And Bucharest is honest to God probably one of the best sandwiches in the country.
Yeah, you know how Detroit has definitely changed. There was Lafayette, there's American, and then I think over maybe 6 months ago they just opened like a vegan Lafayette. Have you been to this place? Like
No.
chili mustard onion.
Chili
or
mustard.
something?
Yeah, we've talked about it. The vegan Coney joint.
No.
Detroit is very hipster now.
The
so
not Coney.
Vegan,
Sounds like he doesn't want it,
hipster.
No,
Call it a soy tube place. Don't call it. It's not a Coney.
they're not dogs. They're soy tubes.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a soy tube
No.
before?
No.
Not gonna either.
No.
Nope.
Soy tubes scare me.
Yeah. No, I'm cool that you're vegan, but stop calling it meat.
Yeah.
Just be cool with it being a soy tube. Meat and soy tube and onions, like cool. Like I'm happy. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We should all try a soy tube in our life.
No, I'm good. I'll eat the processed lips and assholes in a snap casing.
Aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. Extra chili, extra onions. But yeah, no, it's
Coffee to finish it off.
Exactly. The good Cadillac coffee, double
double fist and coffee.
double brewed. Yeah.
Yep.
Good times.
Just to make sure his stomach is good and messed up for the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So hey, repurpose.co, honestly, best of luck. I'm interested to follow how you guys are, I see this as being a very successful model. Anything we could do to help,
It definitely seems like something that should work.
Right. Let's change the game a little bit. Everybody's an old recruiter, right? Yeah, figure that out. But yeah, Ryan, Spencer, appreciate it. We'll see you in Arbor hopefully soon at one of our meetups, and this will be we're gonna do come back and we're gonna play an interview that we had with Ming and Chen and Mike Zapsik from AMC's Comic Book Men that we recorded at Astronomicon, and we'll be right back.
Probably gonna throw the Disfusional one in there too, just because throw her a bone.
And we'll be right back.
All right, so let's yak. So what is it's a Disfusional, right?
Disfusional Studios. Yep, because we do more than just costuming. So we like to let people know that we are versed in all artistic areas.
Like.
Well, I got my degree in painting and welding.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little different end of fabrication.
Should have had her talk to Jimmy. You know what? You're probably not even on. Here, flip the thing on.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say when she said artistic, I'm like, oh, welding? And then she says welding.
Welding, yep. Arc welding. I like old school.
Right.
My mask in college was the Bumblebee shield. So the mask that Bumblebee flips down before he starts going pew, pew, pew. That's how I designed my welding mask. So it auto-tints with the flip down.
Before the pew-pew?
Before the pew-pew.
So I guess, how many of these cons do you hit a year? Like, I thought we hit too damn many, and you've got to be at more than we do.
We're actually not. We are lucky enough to be selective with where we go.
Okay.
So we hit a lot of the really good family-friendly and larger conventions in Michigan because we really love the clientele. I love seeing friends from one convention. Everybody kind of goes to the bigger ones. Like Grand Rapids Comic-Con is a go-to on our board.
I didn't have the wireless receiver on. I'm a moron.
Michigan Comic-Con, too, is a good one. So
we actually like that. For a first-year con, it's kind of like this. For a first-year con, this was a great show last year. So was Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
It was well laid out. There's a lot of panel rooms, a lot of stuff for people to see that they didn't even know probably was there because it was on a completely second level. So I'm hoping that each year it grows and grows. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong for saying I hope it steals the spotlight away from Motor City Comic Con.
There's a lot of people that are kind of feeling that way.
Yeah, I like the Kobo. It's very crisp and clean in there. A lot of parking. I feel like Suburban might be a little limiting, but again, just personal.
Well, no, and it's one of those things where, candidly, this is the move that Motor City should have made 5-10 years ago.
Yep.
Was
Motor
going
City
downtown.
Should be in the Motor City.
See, I prefer this one. It's like everyone's cramped on top of each other, and like it's a little bit, like it's the ceilings are a little bit lower. It doesn't feel like you're in like Pontiac Silverdome,
Well, then the Silverdome didn't even explode or implode the first time they tried to do
that. Exactly.
No, I do know Astronomicon third year is going to be at a bigger venue. We were chit-chatting about it, too, because they were almost at capacity last year as well. And I know that yesterday we had the fire marshals and police as we were watching in the lobby coming in and double-checking for capacity. So they are definitely getting the numbers here.
Well, there was that, and apparently somebody pulled the fire alarm.
Oh!
Yeah, we heard that this morning, yeah.
That's a little scary because we didn't even hear any alarms or
Neither did we. Apparently it was right around 5 o'clock,
okay.
and somebody pulled the fire alarm, and that's why they had a lot of security and police and that kind of stuff here for a while.
That's we didn't even know.
Yeah.
No one could run away.
So I guess what do you guys what do you guys do when you're at a con? What are you doing here?
So what Disfusional Studios offers to conventions, with Astronomicon, for example, we're doing 2 new costumes. So we are debuting our Morgan from Darkstalkers today. Tomorrow is going to be 2B from Nier Automata with props and weapons. We do cosplay judging and nitpicking. We got a booth out there. We're selling things, pictures, prints, come up, meet and greet, let's talk anything and everything cosplay. We even have a giveaway, too. So if you go to our booth, you like us on Facebook, drop your name into the jar, and you could walk home with a hand-painted and sculpted mask.
So,
everything is 100% custom?
They're all hand-finished, yeah. Everything.
Right. I was going to say, where do you even start on, like for a weapon, for example? Are you,
sketches, literally from the ground up. People have asked me, do you draw? Because I have Twitch streams just drawing and sketching out designs. Do you draw everything? Yes. Oh, yes.
But, are you 3D printing it? Are you
some
mold injection?
We 3D print. We don't do mold injections.
Okay.
We do 3D printing and sculpting.
Okay.
Because I really like that one-of-a-kind personal touch to things. So even if we 3D printed something as a base, we work over top of it and do it so it's not that 3D printed or that STL file that we originated with.
Right, that anybody could have grabbed and gone with.
Yeah,
You're
right.
right.
We try to stay away from the STL files that are easy to grab, making our own. Because, there's something to say about the craft when you're like, oh, I did it from the ground up.
Right. Speaking of which, the worst cosplayer ever just walked by that I hate more than life itself.
The
5'4" Michael Myers playing the speaker of the Michael Myers music.
I totally tuned him out. I didn't even hear it.
Oh, because he'll walk by 37 times
we hate him at
an
every
hour.
Does he come to often?
Oh, he comes to, yeah.
Everyone with his little speaker on
with
his
little
hip.
Bluetooth speaker playing the Halloween theme.
I guess I should thank my brother for letting me tune out things as a child. I've owned it and owned it.
Right.
And after about the 5th or 6th time he walks by, we just start screaming at him.
Aww.
Like, no, we get it. We get it.
You're hacking and
We
flashing.
get it. We get it. We get it.
Poor Michael Myers.
So yeah, we apparently have the best booth in the entire free world today.
Oh, you do.
At
You
least
have
from our-
body painting across from you. She's not wearing a top.
No, she is not.
You know what?
Yeah, we noticed that when we walked in. We're like, hey, what in the world is going on?
As somebody said a couple years ago, winning, right?
Right, yeah. You had a good old Charlie Sheen. Yeah. So
I was fine with just a cup of coffee, but that really woke me up. I'm just saying.
Well, and it looks like there's still room to paint, too, on them. So the show could really get started.
Well,
Exactly.
they've been going at that since I walked in the door just before 11. So they're really going. They're really going to town with the body paint.
And their social media, too, they actually do the video logging, so you can watch
Yeah.
time-lapsed as well on their content. So that's
Crazy.
Cool. It's fun to watch.
Where do you find that?
Cinemax.
Well, they do a lot of face makeup, is what I...
Right.
Yeah, not the chest makeup.
So what kind of you said you had stuff for sale. Like what kind of stuff do people come to the booth to pick
A lot
up?
of headgear.
Okay.
A lot of headgear. So we've got some masks. We've got...
Like, damn mom, I got my headgear on, or...
No, not braces and magnets type of headgear. More of like your Fortnite. We've got Medusa masks. We've got Wasteland headdresses. We've got some Mad Moxie stuff.
Okay.
And we're giving away a half skull with horns, demon mask out there too. So next to me is Rob Miller, and he's got a whole slew of his own masks too. So the lobby is definitely a place to check out if you don't.
I'd say that's actually one of the interesting things about this con is so you've got this all set up. You got all these vendors that are in here, and then all the celebrity guests and that kind of stuff over there.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, out in the lobby here, the main lobby, this
Taken over by the media.
This place is packed to the gills
Yep.
with stuff to check out and buy.
Things that can't fit through doorways, they stick
Right.
us out in the lobby.
Right.
But you know what? There's a great airflow and circulation through that lobby. So
That's something. There's something to be said for that.
It's not hot out there.
So let me ask you the cosplay question that's always on my mind.
Okay.
We go to all these cons, and it's always, let's say the cosplay contest, I believe, is 5 o'clock today.
Oh, and you're saying
And-
it's going to start an hour after?
No, and what's gonna happen is the same people with the same costumes, the over-the-top extravagant that they've been doing for the last 5 years, are going to show up at a half an hour before, get in the contest, and then they're going to walk out and leave. And it drives me absolutely bananas.
My thing is, though, to still be in the cosplay contest, you have to buy a badge. So as long as they're giving to the
Okay.
convention, to each their own. I understand
yeah.
walking, and what I've done, too, is I've trolled the convention in street clothes, and then gotten ready in my gear and then stayed in my gear for the rest of the day.
Right.
Sometimes, like, hips don't lie. When you put a lot of weight on them, they get sore.
Well, it's exhausting. I mean,
sore, chafing, hot, heat stroke. You can't eat. You can't go to the
right.
bathroom.
That's how do you poop? That's one of our favorite topics. Because like the guy on stilts right there, like what happens if he's got to go to the bathroom?
He was here yesterday.
Right.
You can watch him. He's riveted most of his costume together. They had to literally wand him up and down and all around because he was setting off that metal detector.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
He was the holdup yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, what do you think is going to,
And he's on stilts again today.
Right. But, like, again, I got to go to the bathroom. What do I do?
You don't.
Right.
Or maybe he's got a catheter in there.
Oh, gross. Gross. But no, it's like, it's hard work. Like, to be able to pull something like that off, it's got to be exhausting.
And for those who can't see, it's Ryuk from Death Note that's behind us.
Yeah, I mean, and with he's got the, I'm assuming, drywall stilts.
Yep, and I asked him if he had an apple yesterday, and he definitely pulled one out of his bag for me.
Nice. Yeah, because that's a good 7.5 feet up there.
Oh yeah, he's
Easy.
at least pushing 7 foot. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you got to worry about doors. You got to worry about
all the things.
You got to worry about bathrooms,
stepping on people,
So, like,
tripping.
If he decided to put his costume on, just before the contest, I'd understand. That looks uncomfortable.
Right. No, I always get like the Mecha Godzilla guy is that like comes to everyone 5 minutes before the contest. Like, come on, man.
Buy a badge, give it to give it back to the convention. That works for me. The people that try to like work the system or sneak in on badges, then I'm like, oh,
it's time for you to go. Yeah.
Don't be a boob. Don't ruin it for the rest of us.
Speaking about don't be a boob, she's now taking a lap, apparently.
Oh, you got to. You got to. All that work? Yeah, no, show it off.
So I guess what are you going to be talking about with the Cosplay Confidential folks later?
I think we're just going to kind of do a touch-up. I know in our last conversation I was a little hot and bothered by the Gang Orca episode that aired on Boku no Hero Academia.
I'm not familiar.
It's probably for the best.
Okay. Is it something I should be familiar with?
It's an anime. There's a hero. He's called Gang Orca. He had like a bad guy 2 stunt episode, and like I swooned a little bit over some bad guys. Yeah.
Very cool.
I think we're just gonna catch up because it's been a while. It's been a couple months since we've chatted last.
And she's great. So yeah.
Oh yes, I love Pam Boobie.
She does such a great job with those.
And like seeing Pam, we just call her Pam. Trevor goes, "Oh, is Pam going to be there?" I'm like, "Your Boobie's going to be there."
It's a thing.
I almost feel like I need to be choked out just to like sit next to her. I'm like,
I'm sure it depends on which version of Pam she brings. Yeah, she's got the ones with the whipped cream cans.
Yep. I mean, I can be Charlene.
She had God, I forgot. I think it might have been. I think it might have been Yomicon last year.
I saw
there was a Charlene.
The team camaraderie for that.
Nice.
Oh yeah. And then I saw she also had a picture. She had a Cheryl Carol cosplay, and somebody was like huffing fake glue.
Yes.
Very cool. I love seeing what people bring because everybody's cosplay is different. They may be the same exact character, but people take it and do their own different renditions.
I know. Speaking of that, I've seen 7 Michael Myers, I think, so far. I think that might be number 8.
But they're all different.
They're kind of not.
Some of them are stockier in build. Some of them are skinnier in build. Some of them have different colors.
The best one I saw.
What year were you from?
What I always said, I say it every year, is cosplay to like what you look like.
Okay.
It's like there's a girl walking around as Fiona from Shrek, and she looks amazing. And she owns it, and she's built like Fiona from Shrek, and it's freaking awesome.
I feel like you can cosplay wherever you want.
Really? No, all right, that's fair. That's fair.
You can.
But there is something to say that when you find a costume that is almost like another skin that you put on, it shows that confidence and that security in that costume definitely shows. So like your Fiona Shama, you can see that confidence and security. Like she is wearing that costume is not wearing her.
No, but I'm a bigger dude. I'm not going to wear a Spider-Man onesie. I'm not going to do it.
If you wanted to. That's a personal preference.
And if I did, I'd wear a cup because no one needs to see what religion I am.
Everybody, no matter if I gotta lock the ladies in, you gotta lock yours in too.
Right.
Lock the package down. Nobody needs to see that.
No.
You don't want a camel tail. We don't want a camel toe.
What's that? Is there a word for the guy one?
Camel
tail, apparently.
Tail? Yeah, because you can see the tail of the camel.
Oh, no. I thought it was like a poodle when they could snip the tail, and it's like that little,
little nubbin?
Yeah.
The docker.
Right.
I can see your docker. I don't know if that goes better. I learned a new word yesterday. It was called butt cleft. Thank you, Dave and Chuck the Freak. It's the area, the skin between your bum cheeks at the top that is showing. There's
Okay.
bikini baristas in Washington, and they have to now start making rules and laws about how much bum cleft you can show.
I would love for that to happen yesterday at the Ming and Mike panel. There was a guy that didn't just have his little plumber butt crack hanging out. You could literally see his butthole.
So he might have been defying the rules for butt cleft.
Oh, it was the worst.
Well, and that's one of those things like that. God, the world we live in now, like you have to have those rules because I mean there are some hyper-sexualized, over-the-top cosplayers out there, and yeah, I can see that being a problem.
Yep, to each their own. But I think cosplays, we kind of gauge it on our venue, like how far we can kind of push it in the environment that we're in. So
Right.
if we go to Colossal Con, you're going to see a lot of things at Colossal Con you will not see anywhere else because, like, you can't wear that small of a bikini out and about unless there's a water park by you.
Nice. That's the one that Sarah's uncle runs, and she's trying to talk us into going to.
That's the
what
one
city is that?
If you guys have not...
That's at Sandusky.
Kalahari.
Oh.
If you have not gone to Colossal Con, you need to at least go once.
Kalahari is a Swahili term for it costs what?
Well, I mean, if they just started Colossal Con East, that's at the Kalahari on the East Coast. We're gonna go there this year.
Nice.
I'm excited. I'm pumped.
So I guess like I knew you said you were a little bit more selective, but like so how many cons do you go to over the course of a year?
Last year we were around 12 to 15. This year I think we might cap it at 10.
Okay.
We're gonna go. We got C2E2 on our list, Denver Comic Con, and Colossal Con East. Those are our big outside of the state ones that we're gonna hit up this year.
No, we've heard good things about C2E2.
Oh, this is gonna be our first year going. I'm hoping 2020 to compete, like in the Crown. Just for shits and giggles.
Well, so I mean, is that some of the criteria that you use when you're trying to figure out where you want to go? Is like the history? Do they have a good history with cosplay contests and that kind of stuff? Yes. I mean, is that because obviously we go?
I love prejudging.
We go to do this.
Yep, I love prejudging. I love people wanting to sit there and like test my seams and flip it over and like, what's this? Oh, that's a French hem. Let's talk about French hems.
Really?
I love people picking it apart. Tell me, can you find something wrong? That's the part that I like because the walk-ons, I don't as a costumer, I know I don't create those big outlandish lights, sounds, gears, bells and whistles. But what I do is you can literally put my costume 2 inches away from yourself and try to pick it apart and try to test the seams. I never have had to go back and alter or fix one of my costumes. So like. Toot, toot.
Now, what's your take on like the Silent Bob the Builder? And it's like this like duality cosplay, right? Are you like whatever? It's all good.
Silent Bob the Builder.
When they kind of like mash up, like when they like
mash them up.
Yeah,
creative freedom.
You get the stormtroopers with the Muppet heads. And,
I was thinking of doing a Game of Thrones Mad Moxie. Like they got bar wenches back then too,
right?
Indeed.
Saucy Mad Moxie with some dead animals around her.
Nice.
I thought that would be kind of cool.
So now, and I noticed you keep using the term costumer as opposed to cosplayer. So what's the delta?
Well, see, I use both.
Okay.
Depending on where I'm going, because right now I'm talking to you guys. I'm in costume. I'm not in cosplay. I'm not in character.
Okay.
When I walk away from this booth, I'm going to be in cosplay because that's the fun. This is
kayfabe, Dave.
This is me.
See, okay, I get
You're
it.
talking to Ashley. You're not talking to Morgan.
Right.
When I'm out and about and the wings are at the side and I'm chatting, it's a whole different motif.
Gotcha.
In wrestling terminology, it's kayfabe.
Yeah.
Like if you're the Macho Man,
I'm not prancing around right now. I'm sitting. I'm
you stay in character like he is. Exactly.
Do you have a Slim Jim?
Blasphemy! Blasphemy!
You would still have some Slim Jims in your back pocket.
Very cool.
So see the detail. He lacks detail.
Step into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah. There's so much more you can do with that.
Or he's got to walk around with a little coffee creamer.
Okay. Yeah.
Like because he cut a promo. It's a cream of the crop that always rises to the top. Yeah.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
So where do people find out more about Disfusional and all the stuff you have going on and maybe get involved?
We have updated our website with our whole entire season for 2019 as well as our 2020 season that we've already started taking guest offers.
Wow.
So disfusional.com, DISFUSIONAL.com, and that will take you to all my social media links as well, and you'll see portfolio. There's even photo shoots on there that we haven't posted up on social media because Facebook it's like a necessary evil at times.
Absolutely agree. It's they're already planning. They plan so much further ahead than we do.
Who?
Them.
Oh.
They're already booking 2020 shit.
Oh God, no.
I have to. And again, that's just the teaching degree behind me, making sure everything's organized, rhyme to the reason, if you will.
No, I think we figured out we were coming here, Monday? No.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, before it was us, I knew last year.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we can.
No, we
schedule a
booked
plan
this.
for
We booked this last year.
Well, yeah. Well,
they asked us if we were coming. We were like, yeah,
of course we'll be
Didn't
here.
Plan anything?
It was a good time.
I was gonna show up whether we were guests or not. I love Astronomicon. This is gonna be the convention that kicks off our season every single year.
Oh yeah, because they've moved. It is the first one of the year now.
Yeah. Well, OhioCon still happens in January, but
Not familiar with that one.
I'm gonna skip it.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna skip it.
All right, well, hey, thanks for hanging out. Anything we forgot or didn't hit?
No. Cosplay contest is today, Saturday, 5:30. Kids are at 5. Panel room behind Rob and Mai's booth. Come out and say hi.
Yeah, well, we're sponsoring it. We have to.
Oh, good to see. I got all you guys' Funko Pops then, and the prize for the kids stashed behind my booth.
Nice.
I won't open them and play yet.
Very cool. All right, well, thanks for hanging out.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cheers.
Awesome. Bye. Thank you so much, guys.
No, sorry for like in the beginning. I was like, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is a special edition of the one and only IT in the D Show, broadcasting live on the floor of Astronomicon 2. And Namicon. Hanging out. Astronomicon. Find us online, itinthed.com. You want to know why? Because we are IT in the D. And
you skeevy bastard.
Still not.
Yeah. Never going to be.
We love you, though. Muy, muy.
The
The voice you hear to my right, if you're playing at home, is Mr. Michael Zapskick, along with, how did that go? You know, let's start this over. My voice is starting
No,
over.
you keep that in, man. You gotta keep, oh my God.
Mr. Michael's, and then across from me is Mr. Ming Chen.
What's up, everybody?
I love how you're like, screw it. I'm just going with it. Michael's at whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Start
over.
He knows who he is.
If you don't know who they are, you're living under a rock, but they are...
and you're clearly not friends with us on Facebook.
They're 40% of AMC's Comic Book Men, podcasters extraordinaire, owners of a shared universe podcast studio or podcast udio.
We like podcast udio.
Yeah.
Podcast studio. It's one word. It's not that hard.
Double S, double T in the middle. Who's playing? But no, it's been, honestly, guys, this has been a great weekend. It's been an absolute honor hanging out with you, eating with you, drinking with you, having fun, and I appreciate you sitting with us tonight.
We broke some windows this weekend, and it's not over yet. I mean, like, traditionally you hang out like Sunday night.
Why would you admit that we broke some windows this week?
It's an expression, Mike. It's an expression.
A turn of phrase.
It's a turn of phrase used in the West Indies.
It's an expression.
Okay.
Well, you guys have been given the, I think it's like pretty much a perfect Detroit food/drink tour. Yeah, I mean, you've eaten Telway, Lafayette, Dooley's Coney, Buddy's Pizza,
Polish Village
Cafe.
All in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like literally like 2 days.
Right.
Yeah, this is what we do in Southeast Michigan, man.
My stomach told me no last night, but apparently you woke up this morning at 7 a.m. to be on the news.
I did.
Now, how did that go?
I don't know how.
Are you an android? Like, you were out with us last night.
I know. I'm like, he simply will not stop until you are dead or entertained or like until he gets Coney Dog. Yeah, I'm like the Terminator of fun, dude.
Because you're out
They
drinking.
give you Coney Dogs because you didn't kill anyone, you didn't entertain anyone. You might have broken some windows.
I beg to differ. For anyone up at 7:15 in the morning.
He's drinking Monsters for breakfast.
Oh, yeah, come on, man.
Most people who are up at 7:15 in the morning were up from the night before. Like, what am I watching? That's Ming Chen. Oh, Comic Book Man's back on. Oh, this is horrible. I'll go with it.
Yeah, I thought it went well. We shot in front of one of the vendor booths here that had a lot of cool 70s collectibles, and you know the host is always super chipper, and my eyes are bloodshot.
Well,
and, my hair is all like messed up.
You're still
but
trying
hey,
to come
man.
down off the PCP, you know, the whole thing.
I wouldn't wish that life on anyone. One of my neighbors is friends with the traffic girl from Channel 7.
Yeah.
She gets up at 2:30 in the morning to be at the studio at 4.
Hair and makeup for like an hour and a half.
Yeah. The best part is my neighbor sets up my other neighbor to the left. This is my neighbor to the right. My neighbor to the left, she sets him up on a date because she's single. And he sits there and he tells her straight in the face, he's like, yeah, so you only work an hour a day. What do you do the rest of the day? Yeah.
Yeah, that went well.
Yeah,
The first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it's like, and they're not talking.
Of course not. No.
Like, that's not, to be up and chipper at 7 in the morning, man, that's a special breed of people.
Well, you're looking at him, I guess. So yeah, come on. I don't. The con asked, like they weren't even apologetic about it. It was like 7 o'clock. Be there.
Right.
I was like, okay. They knew I wouldn't say no.
Now when did that change? Because as of yesterday afternoon, you weren't doing it.
I think it changed right after that, where I was doing it.
I think it changed when Ming was really drunk last night. Like, and said, "Hey, we're doing this." I'm like, okay,
yeah, and you know the guys are they know what I do. They know I'm going to be out in Hamtramck till 2:30 in the morning, but they know I'll be here at 7:15. So
yeah, Smalls is a interesting place to say the least.
Oh my God, thank you.
So you covered the food, and then we hit, but then there was whiskey in the jar.
Yeah.
Smalls.
Yeah.
Two-way in.
Yeah.
Two-way in was amazing. It was a great place. Holy cow.
Yeah, bring back memories.
Oh my God.
That used to be your life like 20 years ago, right?
22 years ago, this was my life. Yeah.
How does it feel to be dragged back by like this idiot right here?
I love
it.
It's great.
Not the one you're looking at me.
I know it was you, you idiot.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. We're telling Ming he's a saint, but man, you are a saint. You don't drink, and you hung out with us every minute of the night.
No, how do you do that? That's
you
the
had
real
the keys
question.
to the car. I mean, that was a big thing there.
I was smart handing him over at the end of the night.
I don't want you getting arrested, Ming. I
No,
don't
that would
have to
probably the
explain
last
to people
probably
what
the
happened to Ming Chen.
Last thing I would need, and plus you get dragged down with me, even though you're not driving, you're in the car. So
all you have to do is look at Facebook where Ming's at. Here's a latte I'm drinking.
Right.
Here's a scone I'm eating. Here's a step I'm stepping.
And gentlemen, I just want to thank you for this.
What are we looking at?
Dave, we're looking at this big goblet that we got from the Polish Village Cafe.
Well, I was angry that I didn't get the goblet the night before.
You didn't get a goblet the night before, so you specifically requested this goblet, and I said, you know what, I want my club soda in a goblet, so I got me a goblet, and I'm like, I really wish I could, have one of these. And
weighs about 3 pounds.
Yeah, weighs about 3 pounds. You could inflict some serious damage.
You could kill a guy.
You can kill a guy.
Because it won't break if you hit him on the side of the head.
No, his skull will, but this thing won't. And Dave went and got it for me, so now I'm a proud possessor. It's gonna. I'm asking you to keep this in the podcast.
Oh, we're totally gonna get it at
Podcast Detroit. And I will come back for it.
Beautiful.
That's my promise.
Better. So here's my question: do you guys party like this when we're not here?
Half,
not continuously.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, not day.
It's not in a row.
I gotta skip a day.
Okay.
That's the worst thing when I run into people like going, "Aren't you ever home with your family?" And I go, "Yeah, I just don't post on Facebook that I'm like watching cartoons with my 5-year-old."
And I'm cooking bacon for my kids.
Ming's never heard that question. It's like constantly, don't you have a wife and kids?
Right.
Like, yeah, but they understand. It's part of the gig.
Don't you have homes?
Do you get a lot of shit?
Occasionally. No, but it's like Facebook is fake book. This is like what this is what I'm eating, where I'm drinking, and who I'm hanging out with.
Yeah, you only post the fun shit.
Right.
Yeah,
and
you never show the poop knife.
No.
No.
Sorry, you only post the fun stuff.
Yeah. Like I'm not like, hey, I'm coloring with my, or I'm. Sometimes if my
I have an argument with my wife, feeling down.
No, but you know what? I feel stupid. Like the proud pot. Like my kid just got it's theater competition, which I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
But she made it to states.
Yeah,
She went through the whole
huge
thing.
accomplishment.
Yeah.
Huge.
But I didn't post so proud of these girls. Because that's I don't know. There's just. That's the thing with social media. It's like I don't want to overwhelm it. At the same token,
it's like going on Facebook and going like, "I take care of my kids."
Right? Yeah, you're supposed to.
You're supposed to take care of your kids.
There's a woman that we're business friends with, and every time like Dave and I are hanging out and posting something, she's like, "Where's your wife? Where's Bo? Where's your wife?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I was with her the last 3 nights, and I just didn't post anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna.
And honestly, I mean, there's some of that where I don't want to have all my kids shit out on Facebook.
No,
like they can make up their own minds when they're, but I'll post a cute birthday pic every now and then. But no,
I see the crap they put on Instagram. They don't care what's.
That's fine. But it's like doing a GoFundMe page. It's like putting your stuff out on Main Street. It's like, all right, here's my dirty laundry. I need money because, I'm a crackhead,
right?
And, I really don't feel like working anymore.
No, we usually
give me money.
We usually, honestly, we'll go out Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Okay.
And then usually stay home Friday.
Yeah.
And then Saturday or a Sunday, something going on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. That's about as much as I go out.
Yeah.
You know, Monday night is podcast night. Occasionally we'll go out to Selena's after the pod, but that's about, you know. But I'm home by 11 midnight.
Yeah, celebrate a job well done, man. Yeah.
Sometimes the like you guys know this. If you do a really really good podcast and you feel really good about it, like it's euphoric. Like you can't go to sleep.
Man, that's why I do it so much. Man.
Right.
Like,
He's chasing that high.
That's why we can't stop. But I like through the studio we're trying to pass that on to other people. Man.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
So one of my favorite moments of this entire weekend is you guys did a panel very early in the con, like
Yes.
Friday, like right at opening.
Yeah.
And the gentleman that sat right in front of you didn't understand the concept of either belts or like pulling up his pants before he sat down.
Okay.
And
Or
not,
sarcasm.
and not feeling a draft.
No. So the entire time we're trying to watch and listen to you, there's about like 9 inches of butt crack just staring back at the crowd.
I saw the photos. You sent it to me afterwards, and I thought you were exaggerating.
No.
You weren't exaggerating.
No.
Like,
No,
you-
that
you-
was 2 seats full of ass crack.
Yeah,
So-
you didn't just see his whole butt, Mike. You saw his butthole.
No, yeah, exactly.
And you guys thought you were hilarious too because we all kept giggling and were like,
Right. Yeah, I was like, man, we're on today.
We're killing it.
Yeah.
We're on today.
Look at Bob and Dave. They're back there laughing.
My favorite part is during the panel. Mike is like, "Yeah, man." He tells a story about beating Bill Maher to a pulp, and like how like he would try to pull him off, and he would still keep beating him until he turned his face into hamburger.
Mike's like the most gentle, nice human being
I
I've ever
know.
met, and then you say Bill Maher, man.
Oh my God, that son of a
smash. So, I guess here's the thing: like, I followed that whole story, right? And if you don't know what we're talking about, Bill Maher basically came out and just completely backhanded the entire comic book / cartoon /
nerd. Yeah, our nerd culture.
geek nerd community, and I'm like, that's been ingrained in pop culture in Americana since the 30s. It's not. This isn't new.
Even before that, but yeah.
Right.
No, it's nothing new, but here's a guy who, if circumstances were different, would have been one of us. He's not an athletic guy. No. He wasn't, captain of the football team.
No.
I'm sure he's ugly enough that he didn't get dates in high school.
Yes.
So you're like, he should have been, a guy who was reading Tolkien and playing Dungeons and Dragons. But I think he was like a little too old for that.
Right.
And his father was a little too rich for that.
Yeah, daddy's money to play with.
And I'm sure he got all the really cool kids and the sportos to like him by buying him weed and LSD.
Go figure.
Yeah, I know. It just figures. I have no proof of that, but I've seen it before. So I'm like, yeah, that's what he did. And now he's got this pseudo-intellectual facade going on.
It's bizarre. Like I'll try to watch it once in a while because I try to watch all sides of the political spectrum and make up my own mind. And it's like the show's like blah 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 blah. Orange Man bad, and the whole crowd laughs. And it's like, well, what? Like you're pandering to this like crowd of like I don't quite get like the whole
his dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't get it either. I don't get why people are like, I love him. I love that Bill Maher. It's like,
why?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's like, oh, we have to take care of the poor people. Oh, we have to take care of the poor people. Ha ha ha! Look at that white trash at Walmart. Like, wait,
Yeah,
what? Like,
seriously. Like,
wait a minute.
That's a poor person.
right? Exactly. Like they enjoy getting cheap groceries. What's wrong with them?
Yeah, exactly. So what? They buy their suits off if they have a suit. Maybe a tracksuit, but they buy their suits off the rack.
Right.
Whereas his is tailored by Ariana Huffington's nephew.
Right.
Whatever.
I was jealous of
Golden
my our
Retriever.
friend John. We saw at Whiskey in the Jar that had this amazing sport coat. Like I'm a sport coat aficionado.
You
right?
are,
I
if
love
you
a
know.
good.
You look great in a sports coat.
But I have to pay top dollar because I'm a big dude and you can't get this off the rack, right? A lot of it's custom. Like how much you pay for it? $5 at the thrift store. I'm like, I hate you. Like I can't do that.
Do they have a big and tall thrift store?
No.
Somebody
No.
should be like, I'm going to go with the big and tall thrift store.
If you want to look skinny, hang out with fat people. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that Bill Maher thing, and you know what? The anger comes from like a place of this guy should be with us, but he's not. So it feels like a betrayal to me. That's
Well, now we don't want him. So
Like I said,
and I would not want him. But
anyone in DC Cab though I should be a fan of because that was one of the all-time greats.
you're like everyone in here I like except for Bill Maher. Stephen Wright. I love Stephen Wright.
yeah, Mr.
Sure.
T. I love Mr. T.
That was I just want to say Jake Busey, but that's his kid, Gary Busey. That's one of the best lines. He goes, I'm not working on December 19th because that was his birthday. Honestly, that's a phenomenal.
Got to make the run.
Right. They stole the violin, and Albert needs to save the town. And that's the best, though. They get like.
Kara.
No, then like Animal Mother he goes, I got like 6,000 saved up, and they completely transform the building and repaint all the cars. It's like, what the hell did $6,000? That went pretty far. 'Cause, I mean, literally
the 70s, right?
It was
no, 83, 4.
Okay,
it was the late 70s, early 80s. Well, when they were filming it. So,
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a lot of post in that.
They all got the nice jackets, and the what's her face from Night Court got the fur coat. I'm like, man, $6,000. This is,
Yeah, this is the most anyone's talked about DC Cap in like 10 years.
10 years? Let's go like 30.
Yeah, it's Mike's favorite movie.
But I mean,
though, so.
Bill Maher makes them play it on HBO once a month so he can get that 17-cent royalty check.
That puts him over the top.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess you guys were hanging out. You were in between on Celebrity Row. You were in between with Debo.
Yeah, man.
Zeus from WWE fame and Friday, and I think who was 2
Sid
years?
Haig.
Sid Haig, who had like,
who apparently people keep sending him messages asking him if he's okay.
Yeah, and he's like got mad on Instagram, going, "I'm fine."
Do you want a sandwich?
Yeah, right, but to say he lost weight's a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No, I want to ask him, like, what'd you do? Because I want to do it too.
I would stop shopping at the big and tall like thrift store.
Yeah, right. I got me a heroin addiction. It's really great.
Right. But I appreciate guys like Tiny Lister, right, Debo, who's kind of stayed in kayfabe, stayed in character. Like that's my bite. He kept yelling at people, and it was funny. Like sometimes people come here and they don't enjoy being here, like Bam Margera, and just sign your stuff and
Andrew
push
McCarthy.
you along. Andrew McCarthy, but like there's other people like him that he kind of took to the moment. I kind of appreciate that. I don't know what you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to trash on no one, right? 'Cause I will.
We're here, like
Right.
they're right in front of us. Like,
They'll be gone by the time this airs.
Yeah, Edward Furlong's like just staring daggers at me. He's like, I know you were talking crap about me. No, yeah, I like you. You're a good guy.
Nothing like walking in the bathroom and he's walking out with his pants around his knees. Like you're supposed to pull him up at the urinal, not while you're
Wasn't
walking.
he in one of like the really, really dumb Crow sequels?
Wasn't
he in like the Crow 4?
There's a Crow 4?
Oh yeah.
Oh God, no! I don't know.
I'm so gonna have to look that up.
I believe I think we're in direct to video, but yes, I think there is a Crow 4.
He's sitting next to the guy like from Scary Movie 2 and Detroit Rock City. That wasn't even filmed here.
That one guy from those two movies that you.
I described a gun to your head. You know how I described him to Dave? I said it's that guy with that smirk.
Oh, that guy! I want to smash his head in. Yeah.
No, he was alright. He's just one like a pothead character and everything,
Yeah,
I'm going to say my favorite moment of the entire con was our booth placement yesterday.
Oh my God,
That was fantastic. Thank you so much for the photos, by the way.
Yeah, you guys are in front of. Give them a plug. The Get Dead crew, run by Megan Grant, in front of us, and they were doing live body painting. A very beautiful Maya. I believe she's from Texas.
Yeah.
And
until the parents shut them down, the parents of kids
made her put a shirt on.
But this entire hotel smells like a dispensary.
Smells like Otto's jacket. Yeah,
Right, exactly.
It smells like a Cheech and Chong set.
It's not as bad this year with the BO as it was last year.
Right.
I think
it's covered up by the pot smell. I think.
Yeah, totally.
No. Last year there was still a distinct. There
was a funk.
There was both.
There was that stank.
There's
No,
not
it's not even
enough
a funk. It's
not
stank.
enough osium in the world to cover that up.
Not
Mike?
enough osium. Not enough
osium?
Febreze.
No.
There was a fight for nose real estate between the funk and the pot.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shocking complaint though. Like this hotel, without giving a plug, the Wyndham Gardens and Sterling Heights, pretty much let's do whatever you want here. Within reason.
Listen to you. Hey, you know what? If you really are on crack, come on down, and they've got reasonable hourly rates.
Well, I think that all the fast food places within a half-mile radius set world sales records.
Oh, of course. And there's a Tim Hortons across the street.
Yep.
I walked over there yesterday, and there was a Juggalo line. It was awesome.
A Juggle line.
Juggle line. Yeah, thank you.
Are you not down with the Juggalos?
Love them. I'm not down with them. I'm not down with them. I'm enjoying. I was right
Humming.
behind them. Thanks for putting me on the spot, man.
They get them.
They're great.
They get a bad rap, but if you look at it, they started kind of a religion cult following almost by bad rap music. They were into pro wrestling, so they got like the Night of the Juggalos. They have like their own whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Right. You can say it in like a Ric Flair thing. You
Right.
can say it anywhere and they'll say
Yeah,
it back.
catchphrase, yeah.
Right. You think about what they've done. It's pretty like people kind of scoff and roll their eyes.
Yeah,
That's a pretty damn impressive accomplishment for like creating what they created.
They've built a worldwide fandom. I mean, I gotta give them. They're from our area.
Yeah.
They blew up Faygo, one of my favorite beverages. Yeah. I mean, what they built is maybe not intellectual, but you gotta give it to them.
Everything has to be. It's okay to just have fun with shit.
Are you saying that they built that city on Juggalo?
Yes, they
All
did.
right, good enough.
That's another karaoke song we could have done.
Fucking Juggalo Starship. Good one, Mike.
Like we said karaoke last night, we wanted to do marijuana jacket. I swear it was in my jacket so deep, my car smelt of it yesterday.
Just from hanging out here at
Yes,
the hotel?
yes. Open up the door, I'm like, ooh, ooh.
Did I tell you the story about last year where this kid came up to me and Brian was like, hey man, I really love you guys. I don't have any money for an autograph. Like, we traded an autograph for 2 joints. And me and Brian looked at each other. We're like, hell yeah. Right. He was like, hold on, I got to go roll them. So we went to the bathroom where we rolled 2 joints and he brought them back. He's like, here, man. And we were like, dude, deal. This is legal currency here at Astronomicon.
Right.
And yeah.
I think it actually might be.
Yeah. But
there's a transfer over there. There's
like a weed TM.
Exchange station. Weed TM.
The weed TM. Yeah. So I wasn't gonna smoke it because he made it laced it with PCP or something.
You don't know these things, yeah.
Yeah. So
then why do it? It's like, all right, I got this stuff.
Just to have that story.
You know what, I'm gonna pass this on to somebody. Hey, Mom, how's the glaucoma?
Well, that almost happened. I had it in this little box and I threw it in my mom's car who I'm borrowing for the weekend. And then like 2 days later, I opened the door and of course it stinked up the car. And I was like, oh crap, I gotta go buy some Ozium now.
Now my mom's gonna think I was smoking weed all weekend in her car.
Yeah, at the age of 43.
Or she can actually start to see again. She's like,
yeah,
holy
wow.
crap, it's great.
Yeah,
What did you clean the windows with?
Yeah, I love that.
So, Mike, have you did anyone try to stump you this weekend?
Yeah, we actually played that trivia game last night.
But I mean, you're like the quintessential expert. I'm going to call you that. Just
people
whether you're not.
People ever step up to you like remember that movie Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee? Like when he was on set, the kung fu, all the extras would try to fight him because you're not so great, and he beat all their asses.
Of course, and he probably took their money.
Yeah, like this is 10-year Enter the Dragon. This is like your Hans Island right here. Every time you go to a con,
my octagon.
Yeah. You're like Chuck Norris.
When you were doing your panel, you're like, oh yeah, that was 141 episodes past the debut of it, and we're like, you're like a damn encyclopedia,
Yeah.
like.
It's weird, but it's useless information.
Are people trying to?
You know what I'm talking about.
Are people trying to stump you all day?
Actually, that guy with the ass crack at the panel was trying to do that.
Oh yeah, Captain Condescension.
Captain Condescending, yes, that was good. In your opinion, Mr. Sapsik,
Could you give me a crappy soundbite about toxic masculinity
I
in the
would
comic
be happy
industry?
to.
Could you please stumble and say something stupid that I can go run and tell everybody I made you say?
Toxic Masculinity went on a cruise this weekend instead of coming to Astronomicon. Brian Johnson was invited, and he opted to go on the Impractical Jokers cruise, which was this weekend as well. And he actually sounded bummed that he wasn't coming. He had a good time last night.
He was definitely in character last year, though, about not wanting to be here.
We know why he didn't want to be here.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that.
He had some drama surrounding him, but he's
now I have drama surrounding me.
Right.
Good job, Mike.
Yeah.
But
Mike like
he's probably the biggest fan of horror that I know. So sitting in front of moderating Kane Hodder.
That shit last year. Yeah.
So he volunteered to moderate like 3 panels for like.
Well, Brian loves to be in front of a microphone.
Yeah, he does. Go figure.
Much like you.
Go figure.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys, is there a void now that I don't mean to bring up comic book men, but like, is there a But I mean,
a void?
No, is there a void in like there's another euphoria about being on set and being on film and doing your thing.
It was a lot of fun.
People acknowledging it. I mean, that's a huge deal. I guess how do you fill that void? You know what I mean? When you guys are still doing the same thing you always did.
I think they've launched 87 new podcasts.
Yeah, that's
right.
We tend to keep busy. Ming's at the podcast studio all the time. I'm at the store, and when I can't be at the store, I'm at the podcast studio. We have a blast, just like you guys. You keep it real.
Yeah, well, and it's one of those things where it's that euphoria. It's not just. There's nothing better than seeing that look on someone else's face when they're either in recording or they're just walking out of the studio. Just that Coke rush
Yeah.
look on their face. It's phenomenal.
That's exactly it, and that's what keeps people coming back. And we tell people when we teach classes about podcasting, we say it's going to become addictive. It's going to like tickle that pleasure center that you're like, I just kicked that podcast's ass. So
Well, I had that conversation half a dozen times this weekend. Like, hey, man, I really want to spin up a podcast. I don't know what to talk about. I'm like, well, maybe you shouldn't. Because that was my thing. I go, let's go to the bar, sit down.
Yeah.
If you can rap with me for a half an hour straight on whatever, okay, maybe you can, do this.
Oh, yeah. But everyone can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's we're not trying to flood the market, but we want to make the podcast community stronger.
Right.
You winnow out the weak. Anyone who we eat their flesh.
Right. Well, no, but and that's the thing. I mean, like we get asked that all the time. Like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a show about X. I see you already have 3 shows talking about that on the network. So, yeah, it's not your voice. It's not your take. It's not your opinion. That's the beauty of it.
And it's not your network. It's not your,
Yeah, it's not like we're NBC. And, yeah.
Yeah, I always tell people that like we could be at the same like concert, like 3 feet away from each other. We have completely different experiences about it, and talk about completely different episodes on what happened.
Just stepped on my foot. Yeah, ruined the whole concept.
Well, that's what I don't get. Like, people think like you're competing. You're not.
Yeah.
Like, this is not we're not in competition at all. There's people that try to compete with us a dozen times since we've launched what we've
crushed them all.
Right, and no, it's just we're just do what we do.
Yeah.
The as Macho Man, the cream will rise to the top. You know what I mean? And that's kind of I'm so embarrassed for doing that right now.
Well, no, I mean that's part of the issue, and I think that's one of the things we've heard over and over again is like our whole shtick is we try to make it as easy as humanly possible. Like, we've got all the gear, we've got all the stuff. Come in, sit down, do your show, walk away. And I think that's part of the issue is that we make it look so easy that people think it's easy.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's not. Like there's a lot that goes. I know Ming. Like, you usually handle all the technical stuff.
Yes.
Like, all the crap that goes in.
Of course.
That's one of my slides. If you don't have a geek, go find one.
Yeah.
Right. Just like in freshman year in college, go find the person with a car and be friends with them. Or in adult life, go find the person with a boat and be friends with them. Right.
Yeah. You get to go out in the water every weekend. And you don't want to ride to McDonald's every.
Exactly. You do not want a boat. Like, but you want to be friends with someone. Yeah. Exactly. Everyone needs a Dave.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone needs a Ming. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, everybody.
Well, that's what Podcast Detroit and the Shared Universe essentially do. You are their friends.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool, I got a guy. In Jersey, we got a guy for everything. I got a guy.
Yeah.
I got a guy for that. You need a dresser, I got a guy.
Yeah.
You got a tree fell down your backyard, I got a guy.
You need a Taylor ham sandwich, I got a guy.
Yeah.
No, I don't have no guys for Taylor ham sandwich.
You know what?
He's so mad.
No,
Look at him.
You know what popped up on my Facebook?
What's that?
You know what goldbelly.com is, where you can get like food, specialty food, like a muffaletta sandwich from New York.
Oh, okay.
Detroit pizza shipped anywhere.
Yeah, they deliver like cheesesteaks from Pat's and Gino's.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
first thing on my feed, big hunk of Taylor ham you can order.
Pork roll. Come on, pork roll.
Pork roll.
And
it's $60 for 32 slices. I remember the math. Felt like it was like 50 cents a slice.
No, don't get it pre-sliced. You got to get the whole
hunk. Yeah.
Yeah, then get yourself a slicer.
And just get a fork and eat the whole thing.
Why not?
Yeah.
Don't, if you don't mind, just wrap your fingers with gauze and just eat it like
that. That was one of the best sandwiches I've ever eaten in Jersey.
I'm telling you.
And everyone's got, even the dive bars had nice bread. Like, you don't get nice bread in Detroit.
No, we have great bread in Jersey.
Yeah, so when are you coming back?
Yeah.
We're talking about going to the Philly Con, the Comic Con.
We may be there with you.
Ah.
We may have run into a guy who knows a guy who knows another guy. We may be there with you. Yeah, check the dates, but we may...
I told you, I was talking to him Friday during setup, and he was like, "Oh, you guys should come out." I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "What have you been doing?" I'm like, "Oh, we were hanging out with Mike and Ming last night." He's like, "Oh, you think they'd come down?" I'm like, "Do I think Mike and Ming would come down to a con a half an hour away from them?"
Right? Would Mike Zapsik eat pork roll and an egg on a sandwich? Yes, he would.
And we're toying around. What is it? Orlando, going to podcast movement, whatever the heck it's called.
Oh, is that what they're doing in Orlando this year?
I think it is.
Orlando.
Yeah.
You guys members? Podcast movement?
No, but like we pay attention to the forums and that kind of stuff. And like our whole thing is, we get told we do everything wrong everywhere we go.
Of course you do.
And so like we were going to go this year. But like we did the math, or last year, we did the math, and we're like, all right, So it's going to cost us a week off of work each, plus about $4,000.
Yeah.
Is it really worth doing that?
No.
To get told we're doing shit wrong?
No.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
And to continue to be successful while you're doing shit, doing stuff wrong.
Well, we explained like it's almost like a Gimlet type company in Cleveland, and we went and spent the weekend with them, and they came here, and they're basically the whole time they're looking at us going, "You guys, this is stupid. You guys are dumb. Like this is all wrong." Like, wait, what? You know.
What?
Right, like see, the thing is we walked into this podcasting world never listening to a podcast, and we walked into this thing with a community because that's what this IT and the D was, a meetup group and a job fairs and blogs.
Yep.
And, right, the podcast was last, so we already had 10,000 followers on all the socials, and had a pretty
an audience.
Yeah, you
right.
following.
If we would have started this from scratch, going Tech Talk with Bob and Dave,
Hello, everybody.
We would have lasted 16 episodes.
Right.
And 16 episodes and go, what do we talk?
What's next?
Right.
No, it's you could go by the seat of your pants. Those are the most successful people. Like, this is a cool thing to do. It's just it's that. Mm-hmm. Ming and I were never thinking about like, oh, we want to be monetarily successful. We were thinking we want to, have our voice out there for people. And I think that's all the difference. Anyone who's like, I've got a formulae for doing podcasts. Like, no, you don't.
We've said it a million times. If somebody tells you there are rules, they're either trying to get you to buy a class, buy a book, or use their coupon code.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's a salesman tactic. Fear sells. You're doing it wrong. It's like, I don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
No, we're Americans. We don't want to be wrong. So
I'll gladly admit that we're wrong, and it's fine.
I love being wrong.
Right.
Well, our biggest mistakes are some of our best podcasts. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God.
Like this one.
Yeah. And the rules are, there are no rules.
There are no rules.
No.
It's all that in the Van Damme movie once.
So you recently, almost like a month before us, did a TED Talk. About a month before we did.
Yes.
But we had entirely different experiences.
I know. How did this happen? I guess they just do things differently in Detroit.
I guess they do. It's kind of funny.
Well, they let us just go do our thing. And basically, we were allowed to come in with a couple beers on our breath and overstay our welcome by about 7 minutes from the time that was given to us. But Mike, you had like weekly coaching.
I did.
Live auditions.
Live threatening to drop you if you suck.
Live critiquing.
It's like, oh my God. It's like, they will cut you. I'm like, all right.
Did you get threatened? Like, they were like, if you suck, we'll drop you?
Only by one person, not by the
I didn't think so. You were probably the second or third most high-profile name on that list. I'm just saying,
yeah. So I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, that's not too cool.
Yeah, we put our presentation together the night before.
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote my...
He had to prepare for like 8 weeks.
I prepared for... And that's not me.
Yeah.
I don't do that. Because I told my coach that I speak extemporaneously. I speak in the moment. And when I'm out there, I get a gauge of the room.
Yep.
And I play to that.
Which is how it's supposed to work.
And she's like, you can't do that. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, that's what I want to do. No, we need this to be, and I'm like, okay, all right. And so I wrote my speech like 8 or 12 times.
Yeah,
I
killed you each time.
Like,
you know him. You know how mad he gets. He's probably like, he's all stewing while he's doing it. So were you like crumpling up paper and throwing it?
Our first slide was Dr. Nick saying, "Hi, everybody," and and I sent the slides over to Dave, and one of them was like, in the beginning, we're like, "Hey, we're not gurus or experts or." And then there was like a picture of a motor. I didn't know, for ninja, we're not ninjas. And I did put a picture of a motorcycle. I didn't know what to, So
I would have done like one of those like little ninja bullets. Would have put that up there.
Yeah, or
nice.
Lee Van Cleef from the hit TV show The Ninja, The Master.
No, The Master.
The Master.
I remember. Great.
I remember.
Yeah.
We did a picture of the guru with Adam Sandler going, "We're not gurus.
Yeah.
We're not."
Yeah.
We're not thought leaders.
Did you have any AV? Did you have any slides?
I had one slide, and it was Captain America punching Hitler.
Oh,
I thought that would get a little roused.
Yeah, did people like clap?
Oh, yeah.
I
said, you know what? When you're a comic book nerd and you get to look at this, you get to see Hitler getting punched by Captain America. It's a good day.
Nice.
Well, that was we wanted to, we always considered ourselves the anti-everything when we started our group. It's because we hated chamber events. We're like, God, you suck. Like, suck less. We can make this suck less. That's been our mantra since day one. So, We didn't we're not going to first word I think we are not going to anything we say will not inspire you today. Like we are not going to teach you anything.
You're not going to learn anything. You're not
But by saying that you actually saying that you actually do inspire people,
right?
Which is the ironic part.
Well, then that was it was almost like we mocked the speakers before us. We mocked TEDx as a platform,
right?
And then everyone said we were the best. Like, you guys are the best out of. Wait, what?
You bring levity to an event that is typically thought of as very serious,
thought-provoking, stick up your butt kind of thing. Yeah, and that's the way I felt. I was like walking out there, and then I'm like, and I talked to another woman who is phenomenal. She's on their board, and she's like, don't listen to anything anybody has told you thus far. Any critique that they have is their own insecurity. Do what you do. Yeah. The reason why you're up there is because you have a unique voice. Use it, which I did.
Yeah, I didn't watch yours. Did you wear the PBR sport jacket?
I wear the sport coat I'm wearing right now.
Okay, which is Argyle light blue.
Like a big, loud Argyle.
I did watch it, and I loved it. I was like...
Oh, you watched the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm like, I wish I could go back in time. I could watch this, go back in time, and do my thing again, because I would have stolen everything from you guys. I'm not here to inspire you. You know what I'm here to do? I'm here to kill all of you.
Right.
Look under your seats, folks.
Like, see that blinking light? That's a bomb.
Well, that was a bit for us to walk in there, we told the story to you about it. We walked in with 3 drinks and 3 shots under our breath. And I had so much nervous anxiety in the back room before they were looking at us like we were literally on crack. Like these guys, what are they going to do on stage? Like, oh my god!
Can anyone wrangle these two? Anyone? No. Okay. All right.
That was so
you can't stop us. You can only hope to contain us.
Yeah. So we're it's supposed to be 7 minutes, and when we get done, we walk back, and our buddy is like, "Guys, you gotta come here," and he shows us the chat room of the admin team.
Yeah.
And it's like they're not stopping. They're still going.
Can anyone stop?
Can anyone stop these two?
Please stop.
You know them. And he just typed back, "You're gonna have to just ride this one out."
Yeah. Yeah. Were you in your allotted time?
I went over
by 7 minutes.
No, by about a minute. No, I think I was succinct. But I looked down and I'm like, to hell with that. No way. And I just went,
was there a prompter saying get the hell off the stage?
There's a big giant clock.
See, how many people were in your audience? Do you remember?
About 1,500.
Okay, I think we were.
You went on in the Masonic.
Masonic, yeah. We were 3,500.
Wow.
And the bad part is, I knew 2 people in the front row that I locked eyes with, and I was sure as shit convinced I'm going to lose all my train. I was, they got that sheepish grin on their face and they're waving, and
that gives me the impetus to keep going on. Though that's my once I lock eyes with somebody and I connect with the people in the audience, and I'm like, boom, I'm there. I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah, and that was the thing is, if we have people that come on our podcast and they've been doing the same thing for 15 years and they have to bring notes. And I'm like, man, if you can't just wax poetic on your business, your livelihood, your passion.
Yeah, this is your passion.
Right, then you have no business being in this business, right?
That's the guy who brings the index cards to his best man speech. You laugh at him. Like, come on, man.
That was, did I ever tell you, I only did one best man speech. And I stole
never asked again.
I stole a rod. This is the best. I had to ask his future father-in-law, if I could tell this joke.
Okay.
At the rehearsal dinner.
Sure.
He's like, "Oh yeah, that's funny as hell. Go ahead."
Okay.
So I'm doing all the stupid can. My buddy helped me write. Magic Mike helped me write the bit. And at the end, I go, "Hey, I know you guys are going to Hawaii on your honeymoon. I just got a little advice for you two." And I went into Rodney mode. I'm like, "If sex is a pain in the ass, you're doing it the wrong way." And I'm like, "Raise your glasses." And at that moment in time, I locked eyes with the priest that I'm supposed to hand the mic to do grace. And his jaw is just wide open. And then everyone's howling laughing.
Yeah.
Like, everyone patting me on the back and giving me shots when we went to the bar. But this priest, man, like, I'm still, like, worried he's going to condemn. I've been condemned to hell.
Like, he didn't know what you were talking about.
When you got asked if you were fun to rub last night?
Oh, God. Bizarre. These weird conversations with people. Out of the blue.
Wait, rewind. What happened?
This girl, like, Dave's got, like, the velvet sport coat that you...
Yes.
I have one, but now I can't wear it anymore because Dave bought the same one, and I don't want to be, like, single white female with him around.
Right.
And, like, she goes, "Oh, it's so much fun to rub. Do you rub him when you podcast?" And I'm like, I made the face of the horse in Animal House, like, "Arr!" Like
now it all makes sense. That girl came up to me and started rubbing me. She's like, "You don't rub as well as the other guy." I'm like, "What does that mean? Like, what other guy?"
That was the word of the night. I just kept it like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I just kept going and rubbing and rubbing. She must have said it 30 times.
And all night I was so confused. Like, what was she talking about? I couldn't
and
sleep
now
last
you
night.
understand.
And now I know. And this is what happens when I hang out with you guys.
And there's a piece of graffiti in the Smalls bathroom that says, "And she's rubbing."
Wow.
I did see that.
That was me.
Such a bizarre night, honest to God. But see, that was I told. I was telling one of the people here. I said, you know what I like about that place? I go, it's like one of the last few punk bars, and I don't mean like music wise. I mean like you can go. No one's gonna like. There's not 4 frat boys sitting in a corner making fun of you. Like you
No
can
judgment.
show up as you are.
Yep.
You know, and that's what we were playing. Like, I love the bars where like everyone's in black and mohawks, and and we play Guess the Career,
right?
Like, that was a hedge, like the most outlandish girl was like, hedge fund manager, insurance broker, like banker,
software developer,
right.
Tugboat captain.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you for taking us over there.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I grew up in Ann Arbor. Like I don't, back in my day, I didn't drive all the way to Detroit to go to Smalls,
right.
Whiskey in a Jar, or the two-way. Hanging out at the Nectarine Ballroom in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
See, I worked at the Post Bar back downtown.
Yeah.
Across from the Joe, which was like the first quintessential dive bar where you write on the walls, no doors on the bathrooms.
Yep,
right.
Like Petroff.
Right. And like random hockey players would be bartending. And you'd play the worst music.
Sure.
So like anytime that someone says, "Yeah, I was a DJ," I'm like, "No, you got to understand. Like I played Sweet Caroline and said, 'Happy birthday, Jenny, give me a shot.'" Where there's actual real DJs like last night that like produce and mix and do
and do a great job.
Right. But I guess it's kind of like podcasting, bringing it all full circle, right? There's some people that really take this craft seriously. Then there's some guys that get drunk and burp in the mic.
Yeah,
no wrong answer, right?
Yeah. Do whatever you want.
I haven't found that wrong answer yet.
No, there's a. I mean,
no, I mean for me. I haven't found what.
No, there's a few where they're like, yeah. Welcome to our show, and then they drop the F-bomb like 30 times, like as a and ah crutch word, and we're like, man, like you shouldn't be podcasting, just
shouldn't be living.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
Well, I mean, but that's the thing. I mean,
you want them to die?
No. If there's one thing
because they can't podcast right,
there's a niche.
Comicbook.net. Mike Zapsik wants bad podcasters to die.
Doesn't everybody? I mean, I thought that was shared universally.
The signal to noise ratio is too damn high. No, but I mean, there's a niche out there for everybody, and that's the cool. I mean, it kills me. Like there, even the shows on our network that I'm like, I don't get it. They still get listeners.
NPR gets listeners. I mean, that's where I kind of learned not to tell, like, not everybody needs to be, hey, what is up? Welcome, I'm loving it. Right? There's NPR, welcome. We're going to, and there's, again, once I found out that is a thing too, the platform, you can't really argue that, am I doing this right? Like, hey, are you having fun?
Yeah.
Is this you?
Did you get that high?
Are you genuine right now? Yes. Then you're fine.
Yeah.
Right? If that's you, like Dave, I love Dave's line when he always says, like, when you meet us at a bar, it's going to be this. Like, there's nothing here I'm putting on a fake face, right? This isn't like Randy Macho Man Savage on screen and then in the bar, right? This is us.
Yeah. No pretext.
No, right. So, like, if this is you when I meet you at the grocery store and you're happy with it and you're genuine and you're not pulling the wool, then you're great.
Yeah. You're not lying to me.
Right, exactly.
You're not lying behind the microphone.
Right.
And you don't lie in real life, then you're doing it right.
Well, no, it's the guy that was here yesterday that was, having the whole conversation about, people say, I'll eventually find my voice, and I'm like, dude, no, your voice is your voice.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. You shouldn't be trying to figure out you're not Howard Stern. You're not, you be you.
No, you're a work in progress.
Yeah.
But it took Stern years to craft his as well. I mean, but I get what you're saying, but like, there's, it takes time. You don't. Yeah, to finally, like, it took me 15, 20 episodes to, like, just be me and quit trying to push my voice and quit trying to force jokes and quit trying to,
It's a learning curve.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. 20 episodes?
It took me, yeah.
Look at Ming.
20 episodes.
But, I mean,
I'm judging you.
Here's the hardest part about doing this, though. It's not like, as a stand-up comic, you can go to like some shit open mic, and laughter is laughter, right? And you know if a joke's going to work or not. But like podcasting, you don't know. It's not like I get a tweet going, "That joke was stupid, Bob," or "That was funny." Like, we don't know.
No, you got a joke, and you move on to the next joke or the next thing you're going to say or the next point you want to make. That's what podcasting's about. It's moving on. It's a conversation that you're having with 1.5 million people.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't get it sometimes. We see our numbers, and I'm like, what?
Love it. I love it, though.
No, it's... So do I. I mean, to be honest with you, it's kind of like somebody said, "Oh, you got to love having all this clout." And I'm like, I don't have any clout. I'm just some Bob the sales guy. Like, for real. Like, it's not like I walk around going, "Hey, like you guys, like, do you know who I am?" You guys don't do that crap. You're on TV for crying out loud. Ming does a little bit, but I know you don't.
Hey, I don't have to. I don't have to say it.
Did I tell you I was on the news this morning?
No, but that's the weird
I didn't bring that up.
I'm just being
We've said
funny.
this before. That's the weird part about us is when somebody actually goes, "Oh, hey, I listen to you guys."
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Are you?
That's the first question. Why?
No, totally. Like we'll get like a random bartender or something. "Oh yeah, no, I at least listen to the first half hour just to keep up on shit." Okay, cool, thanks.
We found out we were being pirated in Romania. I'm like, that's pretty awesome. That's nice.
You have a Czech last name. That's not. Of course they would listen to that.
I'm going to kill this man.
The Zapchik guy very big.
What story were you telling where you guys were dubbed over? I'm trying to remember what language.
Oh, it's Spanish. Yeah, it's comic book man.
Yeah.
They
Los hombres de comic book.
Los superhéroes de comics. I think they retranslated it into. Yeah, and in some of the Latin countries we got dubbed over. I sounded way more manlier than I do in real life. It was like hola Walt, hola Mike.
I am parked out back.
Yo soy
My
G.I.
crayon
Joe.
is yellow and large.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And but the thing that killed me is they dubbed over our laughter too. So I was like, soy Walt. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like I wouldn't
keep laughter. Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. They wanted
to match the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. I want to meet the guy who dubbed my voice.
Don't do it anymore.
I won't. Reminded you of last night, didn't it?
Exactly.
Totally. Robin.
It's so gross. So I want to bring this up. I've never been physically to the Stash in Red Bank, right? I know we're planning on going, but I just went to Pawn Stars in Vegas with my wife,
right.
and I was insanely underwhelmed how much of a different of an experience it is. Now I know we talked offline, but I want like the Stash. It's still the Stash. Like people,
we're still the Stash.
You're buying because I didn't see anything to buy at Pawn Stars,
which is weird.
Like they had their own T-shirts. Like half the store was like Chumley's head on stuff.
Did they still have the old man coins that they minted?
I didn't see any of that. There was a cardboard cutout of Rick Harrison in the back that I took a picture with my wife with.
Wow.
How much that cost? Like $20?
No, they didn't charge. I was surprised.
Yeah, but like how underwhelming though. You go to a place you see on TV and the guys aren't even there.
Well, you know what? You'll be whelmed when you come.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be overwhelmed, but at least you'll be whelmed.
I'm gonna bring a crate of all the shit I bought at Comic-Cons over the years that I don't use. Like
Mike will buy it.
Yeah, exactly. Give me 10 for all of it.
Yeah, Mike will buy it. Yeah, I think if you come Monday through Saturday, you're guaranteed to see at least one of us.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Oh, see, that's what I would expect, or that's what I would hope to expect. Because again, you guys have always been pretty genuine. Like Hardcore Pawn that was on True TV that was based in Detroit.
Yeah.
Like there was a time where they all kind of branched off and tried to start their own little mini empires, and none of them were in the store.
Wasn't that the daughter? Wasn't she at that convention we went to in Novi?
Yeah, across the way from
Gold, yeah.
No, we were. Yeah, she was trying to do a podcast as well, but she got into like the jewelry business, and she was like, again, she tried to like make her own little empire. It was great, but like no one's at the store. But here's the thing, like it's funny because they're not. They created because if you watch the first 2 episodes of Hardcore Pawn, like the brother and sister got along and they were helpful and they were friendly and they're laughing and jovial, and then like the 3rd episode in, she became like this bad person. And we had a conversation with her about it, and they go, they would try to push my buttons and get me angry, and then they would edit out, and take it all out of context. She goes, and she's the nicest sweetheart of a person. We hung out with her off the many times, like not on mic.
Yeah.
And she's great, and her husband's great, but like they made it like
they drum up controversy and try to get those sparks flying.
Right, try to get like reality show BS. And that's one thing I think your show never did was like it was always you guys just kind of cracking jokes
Yeah, like
And-
we usually do. Yeah, the me getting busted on like 24/7. That's what happened.
Right.
That's what it happens.
But it was always like, if you could spend the weekend in bed with one superhero and you guys would like make some, Aquaman, but like it was always funny and genuine.
Right. Yeah, those were all our questions, though.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah. So those weren't made up or anything. So
Oh,
these are all stupid arguments we have anyways. So.
Right.
More dirtier though in real life.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Just like I can't drop the F-bomb here, which actually physically pains me.
It hurts, doesn't it?
Oh, man, I'm telling you. I got it like right in my
Just
chest.
say frig or fudge or I don't know. Like make up some other word.
Flamingo.
Yeah, flamingo.
As soon as the mic's turned off, he's just going to be like,
Yeah. He can't help himself.
Rub tug.
He can't help himself.
I know, it's horrible.
So have you bought anything at this con?
I have. I got me Hank Scorpio Simpsons action figure.
Ah.
It's awesome.
Look
Well, that was the one question I had for you. I go, when you come to this, like there's stuff I find, I'm like, oh my God, it's like this elusive. I go, is there anything that's elusive for you ever in these things?
Almost never, but I see stuff that I've never seen before in person, and I'm like, that's really cool.
Like all the crappy Flash Gordon stuff I bought this week?
No, that you think it's crappy. I think it's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's gold.
I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't.
Captain Action
It's
Flash
Playing
Gordon figures.
Mantis, man.
That's great stuff, man.
It's not the original stuff, Ming. It's the Playing Mantis stuff from the 90s.
Yeah.
But they're still cool. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, totally cool.
KB was like blowing him out
Yeah.
at like $2.
well, I'm waiting to see what because his that guy's store is just around the corner from the studio.
Oh yeah, one of my best.
He's just going to start showing up Monday night.
He knows. He's like, I'm going to dump this crap. It's like Dennis Barger. Anything Flash Gordon Bob will buy it. That was one of my favorite finds of all time. When KB closed, we used to go in for wrestling figures. Right, I have a pretty decent wrestling figure collection, and there was a Master P doll that if you pushed his belly, it went, and if you pushed it again, it went, na. And I gave it to my buddy, and it still works to this day. I'm like, why did I give it to my buddy? I should have kept it.
Yeah.
Where's KB? I want them back in so I can get a $2 figure.
But did you see, we have an action figure of Jesse Ventura, the governor, with a suit and tie.
Oh, God.
The tall, what is it, a 9-inch, 7-inch G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
The old school ones.
Oh, the 12-inch,
no,
13-inch.
Jesse
12,
Ventura
13.
in box with a suit. Like, the most, ridiculous. Like, you know what? And that's the thing we always talk about, the boardroom decision.
Why is there a Funko Pop of the Target dog?
I know, the big one, too. Well, because Target probably said, I'll put your shit on your shelf if you make our stupid dog.
Actually, yeah, you know what? Funko does. They're great. They do stuff that they want to see, and throw Target a bone every once in a while.
Right.
No pun intended. So yeah.
But that's one of the things. You see people barely pay rent, and they got 6 of their walls in their apartment covered with Funko Pops.
Right.
Man, life choices. Like liquidating all my whatever. Why do you even have that?
It's a tangible product. Beats putting up your nose or in your veins, I guess, right?
true.
So,
Not only that, but people have holes in their lives. They're like, I'll fill them with Funko Pops.
See, I have
this void where Daddy used to be.
we're talking down to the the Funko super
Dude,
fans.
I am, but that's me too. Every time I buy something, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what's next?
I know, right? Yeah.
My Funkos I have my work desk, and then I have the cabinets above. So typically there's the backsplash tiles. So my entire back wall is Funko Pops.
Yeah.
My back, so it's I don't know where else to put them, but
Yeah, it's cool.
exactly.
And they look great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's part of your there's a connection to your youth and when you used to buy that crap, when you were a kid, like Star Wars figures. Like mine was, hey Bobby, we're going to Kmart. I'm not going with you unless you buy me a Star Wars figure and a Slurpee.
Then you're staying home.
Right, exactly. So that's how I got accumulated my Star Wars collection.
I also want a sports jacket.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now nothing can get you to go to Kmart.
Oh no, everything's Amazon and shipped.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
right,
guys have
yeah,
shipped on the
yeah.
East Coast. They do your grocery shopping for you.
Do we still have that Kmart by us? Is that
Yeah.
still open?
Still at
When was the
Kmart.
last time you went in there? I thought they all went out of business.
No, I went in there after Christmas because they're like, huge toy blowout.
You were at Kmart?
Yeah.
Blue Light Special?
I didn't get anything, but I wandered around.
Physically there.
I thought they were nice. We went to the one by the old brewery because I needed a space heater. It's worse than a
Not
flea
ours,
market.
yeah.
It's bad. Wait, I remember it being a decent place when I was a kid.
It's like SpaghettiOs, Bob. It's you fondly remember them. Go ahead and buy a can today.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
High C. go drink a can
I
of
like,
High C.
Ecto Cooler's good.
Oh, yeah, man.
But High C, try
Just regular, yeah.
Fruit punch will punch you in the face. Yeah. That sugar.
Here's your kid of diabetes.
Yes.
Right.
Wow, how do we get to Kmart? Isn't podcasting great?
That's the beauty of it.
But gentlemen, we do have to get back to our table.
I'm like, yeah, you guys have like crap to sell and autographs.
I know,
man,
so
can we
I'm
just
having
stay
so much
here?
fun. I'm
We
looking
stay here
down
till
here, I'm
5?
like, I wish I could stay here and
I
podcast
know.
for the rest of the day because I would.
Yeah, Mike, did you get a good Michigan experience? Because
I always have a
we do
Michigan
this all for you. You're not from here, so
This is amazing. You guys are awesome. I had one of the best con weekends with you guys.
Awesome. Very good to hear.
I'm telling you, and I've been to some pretty kick-ass cons.
No, but at all of them, you're usually in bed by 10 o'clock. You were out till friggin' 2:30 every night, bro.
2:30 every
It's
night.
freaking
Oh,
awesome.
my goodness.
Only you guys. No one else is
forward
able
to
to do
sleeping.
it.
I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
I may when this is done. I figure I would be packed up, everything dropped off, 8 o'clock. I'll be asleep by 8:02.
You can sleep when you get home, Mike.
I might fall asleep on the plane and then actually be back out here when they turn the plane around.
But
I'll
hey,
be like that guy on the subway who sleeps through like 3 or 4 circuits. That'll be me.
But hey, Mike Zapsik, Ming Chen, appreciate your time spent with you guys. Love you guys to death. The Ming and Mike Show, anywhere you can find a podcast, a shared universe, podcaststudio.com, podcastudio, either way, how you want to spell it. But honestly, gentlemen, it's an honor hanging out with you guys.
I love you guys.
And appreciate the time.
We love you guys. And even if you don't mean to inspire, you have inspired us.
All right. Well, hey, this is the IT and the D Show.
See you guys.
We're supposed to say, and we'll be right back.
Will we?
No, you will.
No. Will we be right back, or is this the end of the episode?
I don't know. We'll figure that out later.
I thought we were going to play this after the thing.
We are, but I don't know if this is the end
We'll
one.
be right back.
Fight,
So here comes our outro.
All right, fine.
Beat it.
Bye.
You want to do your standard closing?
No. I don't know.
All right.
It's in the morning.
You guys rock.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women.
Long live Flash! You've saved your life. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy. Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Rude.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe, own the truth.
Fear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.